As a general manager, do you sit down with Paul George and slide him a piece of paper and say you average 19 points a game, 40% shooting, less than 35% shooting from three, less than 80% shooting from the free throw line, and you're asking for $40 million when you haven't won a championship, you haven't brought really anything to a city or a team besides, an average career? At what point do you maybe think that what you're taking is kind of hurting us?
And then you flip the paper over and it says, go fuck yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, July 9th, 2024. Welcome to episode 38 of the press conference.
Is it 38?
It is 38.
Is this the first one on the new channel? How's that going? This is the first one on the new channel. If you're just tuning in, it's the first one, but, there were just technical difficulties on the last one.
What was that?
YouTube banned us. Too many references to... Well, we can't say it. That's not good.
Negro Leagues.
No, we just had to start a new channel.
But welcome in. Right now, the only thing kind of live going on is Copa America at the time of recording. I wanted to make a joke, but I'm not going to do it because might not be in good taste.
We'll go through a lineup. We're going to talk about soccer, the Euros, and Copa.
Yep.
Right? And then we'll go to the basketball, talk about the Olympics and free agency and whatnot.
There's a lot going on though,
Yeah, hockey, basketball, football, golf, tennis, Olympics, bet of the week. We'll fly through those. Hour plus.
Well, Argentina's up 2-0 on Canada. Looks like they're going to go through to the final.
Julian Alvarez and Messi have scored.
Yep. And then Uruguay plays Colombia tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
I'll tell you this right now. Have you been keeping up with the Copa?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know who, as of right now, is like, I don't know how you word it. I can't remember the award for it. But basically,
Golden Boot?
Not Golden Boot, but like the favorite to be MVP. Because Golden Boot's the highest goal scorer.
Okay. Yes. It's probably James. James. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, James Rodriguez. You're in America, it's fucking James.
Yeah, exactly. Don't pull that bullshit.
He's hooping.
The Euros today, I didn't watch much of the Spain and France game, but from what you guys were telling me, it was a very good game.
The first half was the best half yet that we've had, probably in either tournament, Euro or Copa, for my money. France came out, scored like 10th minute. Amazing. Fucking not even 10 minutes later, Spain scores, not even 5 minutes after their first goal, second goal.
And that young kid scored a fucking beaut.
Banger. Youngest goal scorer ever in Euro history, 16 years old. He turned 17 on Saturday. And then he'll be in the final on Sunday after his 17th. But what a birthday, huh?
Wonder how they do birthdays in like Europe and shit, because you can like drink and people at our age obviously drink and shit. I mean, not at our age, but in America.
Like people under 21 have drink, But like you can't go into a bar. I feel like in Europe, like if you go in a German bar, or where's he from, Spain? If you go into a Spanish bar and he's 17, they're not gonna be like, we can't serve you, man.
Right.
Like they don't give a fuck.
What about anything with Copa? I think I was gonna say my guess is that Uruguay is gonna win the whole thing. I think Uruguay or Colombia, whoever wins that. Yeah.
I do think Argentina probably wins it, but I think I like Colombia to beat Uruguay.
Oh no, they play really good. They play really well. Uruguay, that is.
I think Colombia's more aggressive though.
Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes I can bite you in the dick.
Yes, it can.
And I have a lot of bites on my dick.
Yep.
If
you put a gun to my head, I'm gonna take Argentina to win it.
Okay. Well.
For many reasons. For one, like if you picked Uruguay, they might lose tomorrow to Colombia.
No, yeah, they're not through yet.
Yeah, Argentina.
I just said whoever on that side.
But also, Argentina's had an easy road. They're the best team too on paper.
This tournament is a sham.
It's dog shit.
Not doing the extra time is bullshit.
The fields are smaller.
They just go straight to penalty kicks.
In America, their fields are shittier. They're smaller, straight to penalties.
I'm going to put my phone down because I have a problem. The USA-Uruguay game, which meant the most, probably had the most viewers of any of the USA games because they had there's this, and then Panama and, what was it, Venezuela? No, Panama and Bolivia. Like, we got to pay attention to that game. They decide to do the all-22 Skycam, where you're watching the game from a helicopter camera view. And I'm like, and even the announcers, they got it switched at halftime because even the announcers were like, once again, we're sorry about this camera angle because you're watching from like above the stadium. And we're like, you pick this game. Why don't do like a high school soccer game and
test it out?
Test that out. Why would you pick the third game in a tournament that's kind of not newish, but like it's the first time USA's in Copa and the biggest game of their tournament? And you're like, let's just start fucking with a bunch of shit. They had the worst ref ever, which wasn't no reason why USA lost. You have to score a goal if you want to win a fucking game. But everything in that game, like, And I've never really heard. I've heard announcers say stuff about the refs and whatever the case is, maybe some new technology they're testing out. But I've never heard commentators be so aggressive about the camera angle and the ref, and they were both justified.
Even the VAR, like the guy was offside when the Uruguay scored, and they just didn't call it offside.
No, yeah, he was definitely offside by a good bit, and they didn't.
I got the jersey repping right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this asshole over here, but
this guy's. How did you unplug a microphone from that's that far away from you? Like
he's a fucking retard.
So I'm not really sure now. Are we just gonna go into Euros and Copa America trivia? Is that how we wanted to do this?
Yeah, let's do some trivia right now. Bang.
I'm saying, is that how we're doing this?
Yeah. Who do you like tomorrow? England, Netherlands, and who do you like to win the whole tournament?
I like Netherlands.
I like Netherlands.
I like Netherlands, but it's just gonna be like PKs.
Yeah, I think it goes to PKs almost undoubtedly.
Right. I like the under. And I think Spain's going to win the whole thing.
I think Spain wins the whole thing as well.
I
said going into the quarterfinal, whoever beats Germany is going to win the tournament. That is a tough game to win against a very good team. I think just talent-wise and the way they play and everything, top 5 team in the Euros, and they got home field advantage.
I think that's a weird thing to say. That's like saying, whoever beats the Chiefs, and it's like, well, they still have more rounds to play, so I feel like...
Yeah, but I just felt like, obviously, if Germany were to beat Spain...
Because then because Spain beat Germany, then they had to play France, and it's like, well, if they beat Germany, I think they'll win. It's like, it's not like they're playing any less. It's not like it's like they... But I think it's like England. Like, if you say, if England beats, if England gets first in their group the way it's falling, they have an easy path to the final, that's different than... Because, like, England, who have they...
I think the toughest team to beat, outside of Spain being the best team the way that the play is going right now, they have the most goals scored and everything like that, the toughest team to beat would be Germany in their own home field.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
That's why I thought whoever beats this team, because they're playing so well, they flew through their group, and whoever can beat this team is going to win it all.
I'm just saying the way you worded that, like for me.
And I definitely like someone on this side anyway. So that's why I was saying that anyway.
If someone said Spain beat Germany and lost to France, I wouldn't be like...
You wouldn't be shocked. No, of course, but that was just the way I looked at it. I was like, if you can beat Germany... But that was also another way I looked at it. If you can beat Germany, you could beat France or Portugal. I just felt like they were a tougher team, and they were playing better, and they're at home.
My bets of the week, I think I've lost 4 straight. It's really frustrating.
It's rough. My eyes are bleeding.
Euros trivia, Bill?
Yes.
But I also like Netherlands, and I like Spain to beat Netherlands in the final.
Me too.
But that game, I will say, one more thing. I will say that they're 50-50. I think England-Netherlands is a 50-50 game.
Most soccer games are like that, because if one of them...
No one plays aggressive.
Hits a goal, happens to score a goal, they're going to just play defense until some stupid PK gets called or they give up some dumb fucking goal, and then it goes
with England's story,
or they don't, and it's just like, Jesus Christ.
England's kind of played like passive and not really gone for it, and then they get a goal scored on them, and then they go for it and they score a goal, and then they play passive again. Yeah. And they go... It's like they've been practicing PK. Well, I mean, by the looks of it, they've been practicing fucking PKs because they went 5 for 5 on Jan Sommer, who's a great keeper, and
England sucks.
Yeah, I don't see how they could win this tournament, but at the same time, they're in the semifinal tomorrow. So
yeah, and they're playing shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've played shit. Netherlands are solid, but they haven't really played anybody.
Like this other and Messi's last.
Ronaldo's done now at the Euros.
No, this is his last one.
This was it. He said that was the last Euros I'll play at. He'll be 43 the next time they're doing the Euros.
He probably does the World Cup because I think he wants it that badly, but we'll see.
I think he said the last thing he's doing is the World Cup for his country, but you never know if he gets hurt or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's the plan.
That's the plan right now.
Yeah. Despicable what's happening.
Euro trivia?
Yep. Go for it.
All right. Top 4 most wins by country in Euros. Top 4 teams. These are the only teams that win multiple championships.
Spain.
Titles. Spain is tied for first with 3.
Germany's
tied for first with 3.
France
is tied for second with 2. Italy's tied for second with 2.
Italy, like I said, big tournament. This tournament, it didn't work out that way, but never count Italy out of a big tournament. I don't care what the fuck happens.
That's what I hated about the World Cup was that Italy was out of it. It was like, man.
But Portugal was in.
What does that mean?
It was between them.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, you got to have more European teams, I think.
Yeah, well, there's going to be 48 in the next World Cup, so fun.
Mm.
That's going to be horrible.
Yep.
I think it's 48. Which is nasty.
Are you going to a round of 16 after the group stages?
I don't know how it's going to be done, honestly.
We'll see what happens.
It's going to suck, though. I can already.
Why? What's happening?
The World Cup is 32 teams. 2 teams from each group make it to make 16. Now they're doing 48, I think. Which is like, I don't know. I just don't like it. I think I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how they're going to do it.
I think I imagine of those 48, 32 will make it to the next round.
That's what I think it is.
round of 32, a round of 16, quarterfinal,
Which I don't
semifinal.
like.
I don't like either.
Just to extend it for advertising.
Yeah, I mean,
It's always that's
the
always
NFL,
why. That's always why.
Yeah.
That did you see? I mean,
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Go ahead.
Okay, that's why I didn't know if I'm allowed to jump around. I don't want to get hit.
All right. Euro
Euros.
trivia. Most goals all time, including the qualifying rounds. Top 4.
Cristiano Ronaldo,
Ronaldo's first with 55.
Platini, or Maldini.
Linguini. Ronaldo's first. with
Who am I
55.
missing right there, bro? Oh, including the qualifying rounds of what? Oh, the Euros.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Oh.
qualifiers of the Euros. I'm thinking of the group
I was thinking
stages.
of group stage too. Yeah.
Because I was like, no, I got that right. What am I talking about?
Damn.
Ronaldo. Fuck me, this is gonna be a tough one,
It
Eric.
is.
Olivier Giroud.
Nope.
He has a lot of goals for his country.
Kareem Benzema.
No.
Cruyff.
Nope.
Wayne Rooney.
No.
Can you give us some countries?
England.
Okay, England.
I just hate to.
Paul Scholes.
These Brits are gonna come on here and say these fucking Americans.
Yeah, Harry Kane.
Harry Kane is
Ugh.
second with 29.
There you go.
Second with 29, and Ronaldo has 55.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Poland.
Robert Lewandowski.
He's third with 28.
Ooh.
And then Belgium.
Kevin De Bruyne. Lukaku.
Romelu
Lukaku is
Yeah.
fourth with 27.
Damn, he scored a lot for being a fat sack of piece of
Yeah,
shit.
he didn't score a lot this tournament.
Ronaldo also has the most final tournament goals with 14.
Mhm.
Second is Platini with 9.
Yep, Platini. And that was in one tournament.
What do you
All
mean
9.
final tournament goals?
The actual Euro final.
Oh, what?
They call it the Euro finals.
Oh. I was like, I don't think he's played that many finals.
No,
So
one. And he
Yeah.
didn't
why
score.
do they do that?
Hmm.
It's called the Euros, and you make it to the final.
Yeah, I know.
If they call the whole playoffs the Stanley Cup final.
But I think for
I don't
Ronaldo,
know.
that was across 4 different Euros that he scored in. Could be 5. I think it was 4. I think this was his 5th one. It could have been his 6th
What?
Euro.
No,
No, it was his 5th.
I don't know.
He didn't score in this one. But anyway, that was across 4. All of Platini's 9 goals were in one tournament. Isn't that fucking
Did
crazy?
you do die at the
Oh,
end
really?
before the other one?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, was he 38 when they
Yeah.
got him to it?
Copa America trivia?
Yep. And then Copa America trivia. Top 3 most titles.
Argentina. By
Brazil.
country, Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay.
Yep. Argentina's first with 15. Uruguay's tied with them with 15. And Brazil's second with 9.
How many other teams have even won it? How many other countries have even won the Copa? I would say only 1 or 2. I think maybe Colombia's won one. You know, like that's a top heavy tournament.
It's not really top heavy. It's 2 teams heavy.
Yeah.
3 teams heavy, really.
It's 3 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, the Euros. How many different countries have won that? I think
At
fucking
least
well over.
3.
I think
There were the few tied with 1 on Euros. That's why I didn't include, because it's like.
that's what I'm saying.
4 or
There's
5.
10. I think I
Portugal.
want to say Greece has won one. Netherlands might have won one.
Scotland.
There's someone like Denmark or Switzerland or
Scotland,
something.
Ireland have won.
No, might not be one of them. Like there's just a bunch of different. You know, obviously we said France, Italy, Spain. They've all the top dogs. Germany have won.
You have Paraguay and Chile and Peru have 2. Bolivia and Colombia have 1. And then Mexico hasn't had many, but they made it to 2 finals. No other
Damn.
country has even made it to a final.
Jesus. So that tournament really sucks,
That tournament's shit.
is what we're saying here on this episode 38 of the press conference here.
What the fuck did you just do?
Nothing. Moving on to NBA.
Hang on, just real quick. Who do you think won the first Euro in 1960?
Germany.
The Soviet Union.
All right.
Then Spain, Italy, West Germany, Czechoslovakia, which is not even a real two countries that aren't even real countries anymore have won this. France, Netherlands, Denmark won one, as I said. Greece won one in the 2000s, right? 2004.
Is Soviet Union's Russia now, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
But you can't really say it's Russia now because there's also different parts that are different things.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Russia, Czech Republic, Portugal, Slovakia, Netherlands, Denmark, and Greece all have won.
Yeah, Portugal, bitch.
Serbia, Belgium, and England have been to finals, but never won it. And then no other country has been to a final.
So you said Slovakia, but it's Czechoslovakia. So it's the
England-
Czech. If you're going to say Slovakia has one, you have to say Czech Republic has one as well.
England is
Get what I mean there?
shameful.
It just says the Slovakia national football team.
Well, I disagree with that.
Okay. Well, on that note, the Boston Celtics are still NBA
Slovakia
champions.
is officially the Slovakia Republic.
Fuck it. Go ahead.
Are you guys done arguing about third world
Czechoslovakia.
third world
We're really big in
countries?
the The Axis powers.
Yeah, countries that I could hit a button right now and fucking end for the remainder of time.
A couple farts might do that.
Yeah.
How little those twerps are. Yeah, the Boston Celtics are still your NBA champions, and we're going to make a point of mentioning that
Every
pretty
episode.
Pretty much throughout the entire year. Until,
Probably for the next 15 years. I think that's how much bragging rights you get. 15 years for a championship.
Let's actually talk about that. When your team wins the finals, no matter the sport, how long before it's like, dude, you won that? Like,
Because
I think 5 years.
I hear it because we're fans of Notre Dame, the Boston Celtics, the Dallas Cowboys, even Man United,
Dodgers.
the Dodgers. We hear it. Oh, well, you were alive for. You weren't even alive for any Cowboys Super Bowls, even though they have 5. And then you were only alive. You were 10 years old when the Celtics won the last one, and it's like, well, what is it? I haven't done fuck all. I'm an asshole.
Yeah, I mean that's fair to say to you, but.
And I think it's 15 years, and I literally think the Celtics ran out in 2023 of me saying shit about.
There's no way it's 15 years.
Because I just think especially
5.
if you look at the NBA, how many teams, not championships have there been, how many teams have won since then? The Lakers, the Mavericks, the Heat, the Spurs, the Warriors, the Cavaliers, the Bucks, the Raptors,
Nuggets,
and the Nuggets.
9
different teams
in
15 years.
Yeah, so I think,
There's still the majority of that league, the vast majority of the league, hasn't won one since we've won one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, 2/3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I still think that gives you bragging rights. He's like, oh, you haven't won buck all. It's like, I mean, I was alive for it. I saw it happen. It was only 15 years ago. Only 9 teams have won it since. And we just ran out. I still said we just ran out, and we got one right there.
I think in 2030, if I'm still toting a championship in 2024, it's like, dude, like, you know how much has happened? Like, COVID was fucking 2 years. It's like, and that felt like a lifetime.
Yeah,
I'm talking about a championship.
I think they have multiple before 2030. Then you can ride those out for a while.
Yeah, I think the
three.
Warriors fans can still be talking about their dynasty because they won one 2 years ago.
They had a dynasty,
but
legitimately.
Let's say the like I'm just trying to think of
The bubble, fuck that.
If you're a Mavericks fan and you're still I feel like if a Mavericks fan came up to you and said, "Bro, we won in 2011," you'd probably be like, "Go fuck yourself, nerd."
Okay, there's no one on that fucking team. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like,
that's why I said 5 years. I think
it's true. I guess 5's a bit
like Warriors
short,
fans can talk shit to their first one because they've been 4 in those 8
Well, let me
years,
ask you
so
this
it's
too.
like-
Let me ask you both this because we're Dallas Cowboy fans, and one of my best friends is a Denver Bronco fan, and they won the Super Bowl in 2015, and they've missed the playoffs in 8 straight years. I'm just going to call it 9. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. Okay.
Bo Nix.
Would you want the Cowboys to win a Super Bowl this year if it
Yes.
meant they're guaranteed to miss the next 10 playoffs?
Yes.
Or would you rather just the next 11 years ride out as they go?
Nope.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
I think especially in the NFL, it's so hard.
That's why I think it gives you many more years because it's like that one championship means so much, and it's just like you could sit here and say 15 years and 10 and what, but it's like, dude, I'll never forget that Cowboy. I'll never forget the Cowboy Super Bowl when that happens and whatnot, and especially the Celtic ship. I won't forget that and this and this.
I wanted to see what he had to say.
He sent me a post on Facebook.
That guy's a fucking
I
clown.
get one a day from him now.
Hey, he's big on the Facebook.
I know exactly
I like I said, I
And
think
it's not when we
I
can
think
play.
I don't want to say it depends on sport, but I do think in football, like winning a Super Bowl, I don't want to say it's the hardest, but I think that is a very hard thing.
Because the rosters are much bigger, and it seems to be dominant. It seems to be one of those sports that's heavily dominated by a particular player or team throughout their career,
I feel like injuries are much more likely.
That's
as
what
well
I'm
as
saying.
injury. It's
And
like
could
it
be a
takes
guy
some
that
luck.
gets-
It
could
takes
be
some
like
luck.
let's say for Boston, I mean KP was injured and we still won the championship. I think if like the third best player on the Bengals got hurt, it'd be a lot different. Like they'd probably be fucked. Like if T Higgins was out, it's like, okay, now we can for sure double Jamar. And like,
Well, let's look at third best players. The Bengals lost. The Rams won, right? Aaron Donald's probably the best player on that team. I'll take Matt Stafford probably second and Cooper Kupp third, right?
Mhm.
Something like that. If Cooper Kupp's gone, you're fucked.
Yeah, I mean Odell was hooping, but that's mainly because they were like Cooper Kupp was shut down.
We see it with him being kind of the first or second option on the Ravens now. I don't think he was ready to be a first option anymore when
No.
he was on that Rams team. Literally Cooper Kupp. I think he actually, you could argue he's the second best player behind Aaron Donald on that team because he won
Yeah.
Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, he did.
So even at that, okay, take your third best player out. That's Matt Stafford. Okay.
I'm gonna say something because I heard about it. Joe Burrow said today about no one hearing about him because he hasn't played in a while. But like he said, someone asked him like, "Are you scared that no one's talking about, or does it piss you off that no one's talking about?" He's like, "I haven't played. Why would people talk about me?" Which I liked that. But then people were like, after I was listening to the Lombardi line, and they're like, he's the only one. Like they were calling Burrowhead and this, that, and the other. I'm like, he hasn't won shit, and he won one playoff game there. Like everyone gives Aaron Rodgers shit and says he only won one Super Bowl. It's like
he's also lost one playoff
we
game.
blow this dude who hasn't even won fuck all. Like you won a playoff game in Kansas City, and I'm supposed to eat your ass. Like I'm just saying, like
that's true.
I get it. He's made it to a Super Bowl. He hasn't played in 2 fucking seasons of the 3 or 4 he's been in the league, and
I
think that's
overall. Joe Burrow is 3-1 against Kansas City,
and that one was in the AFC Championship most recently.
Yes.
Yeah, he's lost. He's lost. He's won both in Cincinnati and split Kansas City.
Yeah. So to call it Burrowhead is crazy.
When you're 1-1,
but also,
they were calling it when he was 1-0, Burrow.
That's of course. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm mad at it because it was mainly his team and shit and like their fans. I'm just saying when people are like, he's coming back, and I'm like, I mean,
but here's the thing. Here's what I'll say about him coming back.
Should have won that Super Bowl, and like, it's I don't know. I just feel like it's.
I think they think the team has improved since that Super Bowl, especially the O-line, which was the biggest weakness. But also, I think they think what people are talking about Joe Burrow is when he does play, holy shit, he's the best in the league.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, he doesn't. Like, or he hasn't. Like, even the beginning of last year.
That's a big factor.
I don't know if you remember, his calf was fucked at the beginning of the year. Remember, he did that.
And they played for him.
And they played horrible until that Arizona game, and he finally, like, he looked normal, and then he got hurt again, and it's like, dude, all right, fucking hell. Like,
yeah. Yeah, he said he gained 15 pounds still.
I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to think of a guy, but, like, somebody who, plays and always gets hurt, and it's like, man, he just always was hurt. It's like, okay, well, that's part of it, though. Like, I can't sit here and say what he was he was hurt all the time. Like, like I can tell you, you're
not going to go into the season and you go into the season thinking he's going to get hurt. I don't give a fuck about him. Really.
No, exactly. With that, we switched to football, but
I will say I get the argument of when he does play, you should be scared of him.
No, I agree too. Yeah, of course. I don't
think Patrick Mahomes should be scared of any quarterback in the. I truly believe this based on his record in the playoffs. When it comes to playoff Patrick Mahomes, he shouldn't be scared of any quarterback outside of Joe Burrow.
I don't think he should be scared of.
Shouldn't be scared of him, but that should be the only guy that it's like if you said you got to pick one quarterback to not you don't have to play him in this. You can go through the AFC and not have to play him. He would pick Joe Burrow. I think that would be smart of him to do. It's the only guy that beat him. Tom Brady's gone.
I think it would depend on. I don't want to say like the situations, but I feel like it's him or Josh Allen, obviously for sure.
But
Josh Allen just hasn't beat him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this guy's beat you. That guy hasn't
played like in the game that he lost
very well against him.
In the game that he lost to Cincinnati, it's not like they scored 35. Like that one game where him and Josh Allen, they just went back and forth. Like
the playoff game,
not
the overtime game
sucks. I'm just better than your defense.
I mean, the NFL had to change the overtime rule because they were like, well, if the overtime rule was different, I mean, the Bills might have won this.
Well, what would have happened?
I still don't like the overtime rule.
The Chiefs would have went down the field and scored. The Bills probably would have went down and scored, and then it would have went to sudden death anyway.
That's why I don't like it because it's like, well, then the Chiefs would have won again.
We just prolong the sudden death. Mm-hmm. I just think, I don't know how would you do the overtime rules?
Whoever starts with the ball, I think you should. First of all, what I think you should do is, I think college has it figured out.
Yeah,
25-yard line. You each get a chance.
I think that
no matter what.
50.
You start at the 50. You each get a chance, no matter what. Yeah, because the kickers are more efficient. And then after 3, you go 2-point conversion for 2-point conversion. If your team makes it, we go, and if we miss it, we lose.
Can you imagine?
That would be fun. They've got it figured out because that way it's fair. We each get. You don't get to go and then go. Okay, we get to go now, right? Nope.
That's why I said when they said the whole thing. Like I agree with in the Super Bowl when the Niners got a field goal and the Chiefs scored a touchdown. It's like, well, we scored on our first drive. It's like, no, you guys both have the same chance.
That's why college has it figured out.
Exactly. I agree. I also agree right then and there if the defense gets a pick, like let's say Bills get a pick 6 against the Chiefs in an overtime, game's over. The Bills get a pick, they just start at the 50. Like if they get a pick and they go out of bounds or whatever, they start at the 50, like their possession. They score anything, it's over.
Yeah, that's why the Chiefs knew that. They were like, I'm not kicking a field goal because I'm not giving it back to them for a field goal to win it. That's stupid.
No.
Josh Allen in 3 playoff games worth of the Chiefs, 7 touchdowns to 1 interception.
I mean,
Joe Burrow in 2 games against the Chiefs, 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, he's not better than Josh Allen. He just had a bet. He just won a game against him. That's what I don't understand. Josh Allen, if you watch, he's the only reason the Bills were remotely in those games. And
but for my money, the Bills are a better team than the Cincinnati Bengals.
How can you say that based off of what he just said to us?
What do you mean?
The Bills are not a better team based on what he has around him. Josh Allen had 7 touchdowns, 1 pick.
But I think that's why he can give you 7 touchdowns and 1 pick.
No.
Whose O-line's better?
Well,
The Bills, whose defense is better? The Bills.
I don't know if I would agree with all of that. What I would say is that like
I think the Bengals team showed up better that day.
They show
I
up
think
better,
the
yeah.
Bills, on paper,
Are
those
better
teams
team.
are better than the Bengals. I mean, Joe Burrow had the worst offensive line of football.
No, and I see that one. He kills me too. Not kills me, but he said.
But also, what's Mahomes' performances? His performance against the Bengals might have been shitty. Maybe he didn't show up on those days.
Well, I will tell you one. They were about to go up by double digits at halftime with 4 seconds left, and Andy Reid ran a pitch play.
That's not Josh Allen or Joe Burrow's fault.
No, but it's part of
Get what I mean, though.
I mean, like it's.
I mean, also,
everyone says
the Bills ran a fucking fake punt to DeMar Hamlin.
and they were up with 13 seconds left.
What did Joe Burrow do to deserve? You know what I mean? Like him or Josh Allen or nobody have any.
Well, this is what
say
we
in
do
that.
with every sport. We say, baseball, like Clayton Kershaw hasn't done this shit, this, that, and the other thing. Basketball, LeBron, football, these quarterbacks. It's like every single play and every single player matter in the grand scheme of it. That's why you play it, because you can say all those things. Yeah. You can't say Josh Allen went 100%, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. How did they lose? And it's like because the coach decided to go for it on 4th down.
But I also will say this: there's something about Joe Burrow. There's something about certain people. And especially, I'm just talking about sports here, where it's like, and John Jones is one of them, right? He's a good example where it's like, that guy's a winner. I don't know how, like, he might fight a tougher.
No, of course.
He might go up to heavyweight, and they say Cyril Gahn's the baddest heavyweight. No one can move like him at heavyweight, and he ends him in 30 seconds. No, Jones is too old for this guy at 205. He doesn't whatever, and he finished. Jones says he's like, everyone's undefeated until they fight me. He's just, and I think Joe Burrow has that thing about him where it's like, this guy just wins. I don't know how he doesn't even play well. He wins. Tom Brady
and Joe Burrow the same way.
And that's
Patrick
what I'm
Mahomes
saying.
is the best example of that.
I'm just saying, like I said, if you showed the two blind and you didn't know that, you'd be like, well, the guy.
Yeah, if you just gave me their stats, you would go, well, I think this quarterback has probably won games, and is better and whatever. And then when you find out Joe Burrow,
I think Joe Burrow being 1-1 against them, based off the games I watched, is fair. Josh Allen being 0-3, like that's
tough.
It's for him. It's like, I mean, what do you know? What do you guys always say about Josh Allen?
Those
Turnover?
3 games versus the Bills, Mahomes has 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
there you go.
Versus the Bengals, he has 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Those 2 interceptions were in the game he lost.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't Josh Allen.
Burrow, his interceptions were in the game they lost.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it was who turned the ball. That's what I'm saying. Josh Allen didn't even do that. And also you have to think, when you say 7 touchdowns, I think he had like in that game that they lost that last second, he had like 300 passing yards, over 100 rushing yards, and it's like, I mean, dude, I literally actually could not have done any more. Like, I gave you the lead with 13 seconds left. You weren't smart enough to hold their fucking.
All I was saying is, like, even Mahomes will say, no, Josh Allen's better than. He could say Josh Allen's better than Joe Burrow. It's like, okay, would you rather play Joe Burrow or Josh Allen? He'd say, I'd rather play Josh Allen because I beat him every time.
It's like the Celtics, like certain guys. I'm like, okay, I would like you said, like last year. Like, how do we lose to the Magic every time we play?
Jorge Masvidal had a good point when he talked about Kamaru Usman after he got knocked out. He was like, I really feel like I'm a better striker than this guy, and I can grapple with him. He's like, he just has my number.
That's it. You're right.
He was like, he just has my number. Like, I don't know what it is.
Because, like I said, it's not like a Mahomes has Josh Allen. I feel like the Chiefs have the Bills, and because I wouldn't like if you guys probably call me a liar, but I wouldn't say like when you're actually trying to be smart about sports. It's not like unless Josh Allen had 14 touchdowns to 0 interceptions and he beat him, but it's like they're both playing very similar. There's a reason that there's something there, like you said, where one team happens to win every game. And I think with the Bills now, like when Tyler Bass kicked that field goal, it was almost in his head like, we're supposed to lose to this team. Like he went out there, like looked nervous, because it's like, fuck, like we always lose to them. Like I have to make this kick to tie the game. And it's like you get it in your head after a while. Like Joe Burrow has no reason to be scared of them. Like I think if you ask the Bills, they'd say, I don't want to play the Chiefs. The Bengals would be like, I mean, I beat them, so I don't care.
Yeah,
like,
That's another one, that final drive, though, where there was, like, Josh Allen made decisions for the touchdown rather than, let's get closer.
Yeah.
Let's do this and everything like that. But then, like, I don't think Sean McDermott's a good coach.
He's horrible.
It was recent in this game recently that we watched, though. Didn't Josh Allen miss a couple throws in the last drive when he lost to the Chiefs? It's just something like that.
He didn't throw an under route, but then and
he also, but he did throw the.
He hit Diggs in the face with a 60.
No. But when he should have thrown the under route on the same one, he threw it to the end zone and the guy was open, but he just short hopped him.
it.
I didn't know his arm got hit.
He got hit, but it was like the under route.
The ball didn't make it there.
Basically, it was just like he fucked up there, and it was just something like that where it's like he never does that. But for whatever reason, when he plays the Chiefs,
but that's the thing though. In that moment,
but then again, the beginning of that drive, he threw a 70-yard ball,
and it hit Diggs in the mouth,
in the fucking face.
But Stephon Diggs thinks he's another.
It's just something, but that's what I'm saying. It's something like that where Mahomes will go. They should have beat us, but for whatever reason, when they play us, they kill us.
I mean, if you're up against a team with 13 seconds left and they get a game-tying field goal,
you're saying we're in the Super Bowl.
lose in overtime, it just wasn't meant.
Was that the AFC Championship?
Yep.
They were sitting there going, writing their tickets, telling their families, get your fucking plane tickets ready. We're going to the Super Bowl.
I don't know who they played that year.
And it might just be where.
Well, they beat the Niners. The Niners the first time.
I don't know. I think it was the Tampa Bay
when they lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Jerry West, Bill Russell.
Well, that would have been fun. Josh Allen versus
Bill Russell.
Tom Brady.
Sick. I just think, like I said, if and when, like I feel like Josh Allen just gets the shit because he's lost those games. But it's like you watch it, like you said, like when you guys talk about Josh Allen, you're like he's going to have a turnover, he's going to do this in those games. If he had 7 touchdowns and 4 picks, it'd be like it's like 7-1. Like that sucks because he doesn't usually. You would look at those if you switch those two, like just put the blind stats up, you'd be like, well, I know Josh Allen has the 3 picks because there's no way he hasn't played in games and doesn't have 3 interceptions. Yeah,
it was the divisional playoffs.
What was the divisional?
Yeah.
Go back to that.
I think the Chiefs lost to the Bengals.
Go back to that box score.
Yeah.
Well, that was the divisional round where they.
I didn't think it was the AFC Championship. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He had 68 rushing yards, 329 passing yards.
I mean, he had what?
Holy
400
Gabe
yards
Davis.
combined, and Gabe Davis, was unbelievable.
Then Mahomes threw 75%, 380 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. He ran for a touchdown, and he had 70 rushing yards.
Yeah,
They both led their team in rushing yards.
And somehow I think if you switched those quarterbacks, the Bills would I don't know if it's a Josh Allen thing. I don't know if it's like you said, just certain guys have that way about them, but like.
I mean, they both did what they
deserved
could.
one fucking
They both couldn't have done more.
No, literally, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, they give up. Your defense gives up 42 points. You're not going to win many playoffs games.
We'll do MVP as it gets closer to the season. Again,
No, I just wanted.
your MVP take.
Now?
Yeah.
So I had an MVP pick. I still like it.
I stick with NFL.
But the odds were 40-1 at one
The
time.
odds were 40-1 when I recommended it on.
A few weeks ago.
It's 22-1 on one book, 30-1 on another book. So
take it on that one.
Take it on. I was going to say, just in general, when you're betting, look for different.
If you could look at different books for the better odds.
Yeah, of course. Do you want me to give it, or I mean, you guys already know it. So
who do you think? It's a quarterback. We're going to ask you guys this first. Maybe you can pause it and guess. Is 22-1 odds on one book, 30-1 odds that Eric likes based on their schedule, based on their team. His
betting number.
His play last year was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Their team played well. Everything, just the betting number. He likes these odds. Where is he amongst quarterbacks, if you can?
Oh, definitely. I'll say also with him, some of these odds fucking kill me. I mean, Jordan Love has better odds than this guy, and I mean, I like Jordan.
If you look at their schedule and you look at the teams and you look at their play, I think you would pick this guy as well statistically over Jordan Love. But I see the Jordan Love thing too. I think especially if you look at Jordan Love's second half of the season and go, if he plays like that the whole season, it could be the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like the whole thing where people get into like the hype train of a guy, and it's like I get it. Like Jordan Love has played really well the second half of the year, but to win an MVP, I think I saw a thing like of the last 10 MVPs, 6 of them were a 1 or a 2 seed. No, it was like it was something like 7 of them were, and then the other 2 or 3 were like the 3rd or 4th best team in the like you have to basically be a top 4 or 3 team in your conference to win the MVP. Okay, it was some weird stat where it's like you have to be a division winner, top 5 record in the league, something like that.
Winning matters.
In terms of quarterback, he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th on the list. I like the guy.
I like him better than the guy, the 1,
2 above him.
2,
3, just based off Stafford's schedule. I mean, Brock Purdy. I mean, are we fucking crazy?
I would take him above 6 guys. I would take him above Herbert as well, as far as MVP voting goes right now.
Yeah, the only thing with the MVP is, like I said, if Herbert, it's based off of kind of what
I just don't think Herbert's going to, like you said, be a top. I don't think he's going to win his division.
Nope.
I know he's not going to win his division. I know who's going to win that division. You know what I mean?
I like the guy right under Jared Goff as well. Possibly.
No.
Just based off of what happened last year, they could win that division.
Yeah.
You realize, so Anthony Richardson's the guy's talking about, is plus 3,500. With Gardner Minshew, they're an incomplete pass away from the Texans not even being in the playoffs and them winning that division.
Yeah.
I mean, if Anthony Richardson comes in and
he's just better than Gardner Minshew.
What he did last year, like the CJ.
They got a wide receiver in the draft as well, right?
I believe so.
Okay. But anyway, your pick is?
So my pick at 30-1, I like Jared Goff based on their schedule. I think he plays 2 or 3 outdoor games. One of them's in San Francisco late. Outdoor games in weather. I think it's San Francisco late, Chicago, and Green Bay. But Green Bay, one of the 2 division games is like beginning of November, so it's not like it's going to be Lambeau fucking freezing. But I think Jared Goff is a good bet. He was 40-1. He's now 30-1. The Lions, if they repeat as division winners, I think their win total is like 11.5. If they win 12 games, they're going to be a 1 or 2 seed in the NFC. And last year, he had a couple games where he turned the ball over like crazy. If he doesn't do that for those few games, I think he's in the conversation last year. And this year, I think he only propels himself better.
And I think going into the NFC ship in the game that they should have won if it wasn't for Dan Campbell puts a lot more eyes on him as Jared Goff doesn't fuck around.
Right. I'll just go through their schedule real quick. So at home against the Rams, just say winner, like you just count their record. So at home against the Rams.
That's a tough one, but I'll give them a win.
They're -3.5. So
I'll give them a loss on the next one because I gave them a win on the Rams.
Right, so Buccaneers at home, they're 6-point favorites.
Okay.
In Arizona,
Win.
At home against Seattle,
Win.
On the road against Dallas,
Give them a loss.
On the road against Minnesota,
Give them a win because
at home against the Titans,
win.
Away against the Packers. That's November 3rd.
That's a loss I'm going to give them.
That's November 3rd. So that's not going to be a freezing outdoor weather
It'll be
game.
cold though.
Texans in Houston.
Give them a loss there.
Jaguars at home.
Win.
Colts on the road.
Fuck. Win. I might have miscalculated this, but go ahead.
Lions at home. Bears at home.
Win.
Packers at home.
Win. I gave them a loss on the road.
Bills at home.
Give them a loss.
Bears on the road.
Win.
Niners on the road.
Loss.
And Vikings at home.
Win. I'll give them 6 losses there.
6 losses, and I think I think they beat the Bucs.
I was a little tough on them too.
So I think they win between 11 and 13 games in an ideal season, and I think that's enough for him to get MVP. Because the only other
it's a good bet, man. It's a good number.
Like I said, for 30-1, that's really
$10
good.
wins you $300. If you
Right.
want, if you had
I
$100,
already put 10 on it.
$100 to spare wins you what?
$3,000.
Yeah.
That sounded
I
good.
found it fucking amazing. I had one of those when I was sleeping today too.
But I wouldn't bet it, but I think Anthony Richardson, Tua's not winning MVP fucking P.
No.
Let's get fucking serious. Dak Prescott's not winning MVP.
What's your trivia for football here? We'll touch on a lot more football as we get closer.
And Trevor Lawrence has better odds than him.
Michael was like, he was like, what are we doing with fantasy? You got to send the text out like next month. I was like, oh, that just got me horny.
I was going to send a mock draft today, just to fuck around, but I feel like people would have been into it.
Oh, yeah.
NFL trivia?
NFL trivia. This one, I think, is a fun one. Since 2000, top 5 teams, most arrests by each NFL team.
Since 2000?
Yeah.
The Vikings are number 1.
Number 1 with 57.
Jesus.
2000, they've had 57 arrests. That's literally like, what, 3 a year?
2 a year.
2.5 a year?
2 a little bit
Gee,
over.
I can't even think of some Raiders.
No, Raiders are actually down in the list.
I mean, a murder should give you some.
Dolphins.
No,
Not.
Ravens?
not the
They
Ravens.
feel disciplined. Packers.
Nope.
Arrests. Cowboys are down the list too. I think I saw this list.
Who's top 5?
Top 5,
Saints.
No, Saints are outside of that, outside the 10.
Damn.
Chargers?
Nope.
Just trying to think of teams who live in cities where it's...
Oh, Ravens.
No.
Can I say them again?
The
The Bears.
Nope.
Steelers?
Nope.
Dude, what the
You want hints?
Yeah.
What hints are you going to give us?
AFC West.
Broncos.
Broncos are second with 56.
That explains their playoff drought.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're getting AFC North.
Browns.
Lions?
Bengals?
The Cincinnati Bengals are third with
I thought
51.
he said NFC.
No, yeah, AFC. Bengals?
You don't remember the Bengals getting in trouble? The
Pac-Man Jones.
whole Marvin Lewis and everything
No.
with his teams?
Oh, I remember they were on disc. I just don't, I didn't know the guys were getting arrested 50 fucking times.
AFC South.
Don't say the Titans. Okay. Jags.
Jaguars
I knew it.
are tied with fourth with 41. And the last team is AFC West again.
Chargers?
Chiefs?
Kansas City Chiefs.
No,
Oh,
41.
That fat prick.
Fucking all been Andy Reid's kids.
No
And
discipline.
it's just
yeah.
his son.
Yeah, no discipline from that fat piece of shit. Was that the only NFL trivia?
Yeah.
Would you rather?
Just
Anything here?
Yeah, he's got something.
the
good.
Texans are last with 17 arrests.
Good for them.
I'm sure that's probably where they put it because that was right when they.
Well,
became
then I take it
expansion
back the playoff drought thing I said because they fucking haven't done fuck all in the 2000s since playoffs.
Do you want to do would you rather or NBA free agency?
team. The would you rather is football related.
Perfect. Knock it out.
Would you rather be a great kicker, have a great kicker's career, or be an average quarterback for a career?
You have to give me a name. Is Derek Carr average? Because he has made so much money.
That's why I think you would pick the average quarterback
have
is
to.
financially.
Yeah.
But
No, you have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to pick the levels of greatness versus the
Daniel
level of
Jones
average.
just got $40 million. I don't think he's even an average quarterback.
No. He's not an average quarterback, like, just based on the guys you know in
Like
your
Jared
life.
Goff, I would say is average. Like he's
So
like,
this original question was, would you rather be a great kicker or an average tight end?
Yeah,
have to
that's
go
probably
great
that's
kicker,
probably a better question.
you only have to
I
go
tried to
great
switch it
kicker
up.
because an average tight end could kind of maybe get.
They're not going to make less than the kicker. I'm sorry.
They might.
No.
Like Anaventari, he played till he was, what, 44, 45?
Right. That's what I'm.
That's another thing,
Justin
though,
Tucker.
right? If you're a great kicker,
That's what I'm saying.
you could be a kicker from 23 to 40. That's
Yeah.
true, too, so that money accumulates.
Because at a tight end, you probably
Would you
retire
rather be
by
known
30.
as like an average tight end or Justin Tucker?
Well, that's the greatest kicker, so that's different from great.
Anaventari.
That's also the
Janikowski.
greatest, you know.
You can't have three greatest.
One best, one greatest. And
Like an average tight end, like I said.
Who's a
like
great kicker in the league right now? What's the dude that went to Florida?
Eddie Pinero?
He had a great year.
Yeah.
Would you rather be Eddie Pinero, who's an average tight end?
Or Noah Fant?
No, that's below average. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean,
who's an average tight end?
I will say Jake Ferguson's above average, so something a little bit less than him. Hunter Henry.
Well, Hunter Henry got a bag because of his name. So I mean, you'd have. But the problem is like you said, or who Eddie. The thing with Eddie Pinero is, I don't like. You'd have to pick a kicker who's like you said, great. He had a great season.
Daniel
Like
Carlson.
Harrison
Daniel
Butler.
Carlson.
I'm gonna say Daniel Carlson, just because he's gonna play.
I
a
felt
lot
like he was
longer.
going to go kicker regardless.
Regardless.
No,
I'm actually shocked he
the
didn't.
He was a
He
college
gave it
kicker for some background.
I would say like I'm thinking more money, like money wise. Like I'm trying to think of.
What are you looking at, Bill?
I was checking it out.
Oh,
What are you looking up?
Daniel Carlson's contract.
Bill, look up. What's the other guy's name?
Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
4-year, $18 million. I guarantee all those motherfucking tight ends are making more
That's
money.
$4.5 million a year. What is Hunter
was
Henry?
his?
Hunter Henry got 4 years. Or no, Daniel Carlson's contract now is 4 years, $18 million. I think Hunter Henry got like $15 million a year.
I have Hunter Henry here with New England Patriots signed a 3-year, $37.5 million contract.
That's fucking insane.
12
$15
million.
million signing bonus, $25 million guaranteed.
So we
average
said
salary of
Daniel
$12.5.
Carlson, who's one of the best kickers in this league, signed a 4-year, $18 million, which is $4.5 million a year. Do you know who makes $4.5 million per year right now as we speak as a tight end in the NFL?
No.
Well, this is a first-round pick, Brock Bowers. Okay, but above him, Will Dissly.
Yeah.
Mo Alley Cox makes $5.8 million. Gerald Everett makes $6 million.
See,
Tyler Higbee makes $8.5 million.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a
my thing
kicker.
though is like I'd rather be known rather than because to me like what is Daniel Carlson's contract?
You said Noah Fant. I said he's below average. He ain't no average. $10.5 million a year.
No, that's what I said. I think he's paid, like that's
He's
why
one
I
of the
said
top
pay-wise.
paid guys.
Like
4 years, $18.5 million.
if you're remembered as like a great kicker,
I'd rather be remembered as Daniel Carlson than fucking Hunter Henry. But money wise, I'd rather have Hunter Henry's money.
Here's the thing. I don't think anyone's going to remember you, either of those guys, too fondly. You know what I mean?
Well, we will.
Yeah, we will, but who's really going to sit there and talk about Daniel Carlson or Hunter Henry? So it might as well make the bag.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Grand scheme of the world, who's even remembering Justin
who's going to be retarded at 45 years old and who's going to
Exactly.
have their head on straight?
Well, that's why I said, like, if you think about it, he
CTE.
gets that contract. What did he get? 3 years, so $12 million a year. So
Let's not be greedy. Let's not be greedy.
He
He
got
got,
$37 million. Daniel Carlson's next contract would be another $18 million, probably.
how much money do you need?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
and
Daniel
what's
Carlson.
Hunter Henry's longevity?
Right.
I'd say 8 to 10 years. Carlson's is 20 years.
That's what
So
I'm saying.
4 years, we'll call it $20 million to make the math easy. Let's say he plays 20 years, right? So that's
20
5 of those contracts. That's $100 million. We'll just lower that and say $75 million is what
Hunter Henry's not
you're
getting-
fine with $75 million.
Hunter Henry's not getting another contract of that much.
Yeah, but $75 million, you're fine, and you go down as one of the best kickers of your time. I'll take that.
I'll take that.
And you
over
have
tight end.
no brain problems. I'll take
Quarterback,
all that.
I'd
And you
rather-
don't have to work. Like, you know,
What
the
was-
kickers
did you
work
do
out.
anything physical in your practices?
No. There's one practice they had to like show us how to tackle but like you just like line up with someone and like just did a little quick form. So this fucking nerd who was watching was like, oh, you know what they're doing, and it's like, bro, you saw Shiloh tackling people. We weren't doing that in games.
They're like, this is your job. You know, run a little, do some leg workouts, and go fuck off.
Yeah.
Eat healthy during the
Put that ball
season.
between those
And then put the
holes.
fucking... Yeah, honestly, I think that's what like the general basis is with kickers is like, I don't care if you drink Monday through Saturday. If the ball goes through the fucking poles on
You
Sunday,
could be the guy on the
you're here
replacement
every
smoking a
fucking
cigarette on
Sunday.
the field.
Yeah.
See, and that's where I am, like with especially like those type of like niche people. Like a guy who like is a base stealer in baseball. It's like, dude, you just get from first to second when we
Give a
send
fuck
you
what you do in
from
your personal
I
life.
don't care. You could be literally doing coke before you go out there. I'm here to win ball games, and your job is to do this to help me do that. Speaking of that, I did a cold plunge this weekend. Those are pretty cool.
Oh, at Shane's?
Nope. Oh, it was at Yvette's friend's house.
Fuck that.
You know how much it was? The cold
300
He bought
and a
a
sauna.
Like tiny little thing, right?
He bought a cold plunge. It's basically a big fucking trash bin that you sit in and you put water and ice in. How much do you think he paid for it?
On Amazon, I think they're like $200 to $300.
Okay.
I was gonna say 300.
$40 with a code on Instagram. I would 100% buy one right now.
I like that as well.
All you do
Well,
is you
because
put
I
hose
saw,
water in it and you put ice. And
I was
then there's a
talking
little
with-
drain at the bottom, so you have to buy the ice as well. But that is a steal, I thought. For
I was talking to Fred and Jesse on Rocket League, and they were talking they don't have saunas in their gyms at Barstow.
yeah.
Fred was like, I saw this thing on Amazon, so you can get a sauna and a cold plunge for $300.
I don't know if that would.
They were like, I'll definitely do it. I was like, I don't think I would do that.
You could put the sauna in your bathroom.
I don't know.
I don't think that would.
You probably have to. They have big backyards and shit though.
Yeah, I thought $40 was like an absolute steal,
$40 is a great deal.
and I did for 2 minutes. That'll get you.
That'll get you. If you could work your way up to like over 5 minutes, holy hell.
I could have done that. It just was everyone was kind of jumping in and out of it, and like he only had one bag of ice, so we all just want to see if we could do 2 minutes. But like once you get to the 2.5 minute mark,
You're locked in.
You stop to feel it anyway. You stop feeling it anyway, and you're just like, oh, this is not bad. Like, and then after, you're like, I know I'm going to feel good. The first minute is where you just have to regulate your breath. Because if you're in there like Yvette was in there like, and I'm like, you're just going to fuck yourself because it's not going to work out that way. Do you want to move on to NBA free agency? Because that was a big talk of.
Yeah.
Before I ask you that, Tobias Harris got 2 years, $52 million in Detroit. How much do you think he's made in career earnings?
I've seen this it's like $300 million.
He's made over $300 million, and he has never been an All-Star.
If you're an NBA player, don't hire Rich Paul. Hire Tobias Harris's agent.
I can't remember that guy's name. Is it not? It's not Rich Paul, is it? I mean, maybe hire Rich Paul. Bronny got fucking $4 million guaranteed. He's like the only 55th overall pick in the last like 5 years to get any sort of guaranteed money and not be like a two-way contract. By the way, did you see with Bronny? He already missed the second game due to like something with his leg, and Michael Lombardi was killing them. And then I want to ask you guys about this. What do you think about J.J. Redick not coaching in the summer league? Because Michael Lombardi was
You should get some practice in.
he was killing him for it. I wouldn't say like, I mean, it's obviously up to him, but like, I do feel like it is kind of like a cocky attitude.
I also feel like
Be out there,
he
coach.
had everybody.
Nick Nurse coached last year.
I think
for his-
everybody knows that JJ Redick is just a puppet for LeBron to be the coach, right? But here's that Tobias thing. This is a real stat. Tobias Harris has made $413.18 every day since Jesus Christ died.
It's pretty good.
That's crazy.
That's an amazing.
I'm just saying, with like I said, the J.J. Redick thing. I mean, the Lakers are a fucking clown show, but I think he should be at the summer league coaching. But I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I guess
It's more. Obviously, these games don't matter, but it's more of like you're clearly going to have at least two players make that final roster, if not more, fill it out or be on a two-way
also,
contract.
like-
And also, you've never coached before.
right. That's my thing. Timeouts, calling plays, drawing plays. I just think he has this thing of like
He's
that
the
won't
smartest man in
matter
the
now.
room.
Yeah, that won't matter right now. And it's like, dude, it does matter. I promise.
I mean, why do you like that? People are mad at Joe Mazzulla for challenging. When we're up 30, he's challenging, and he's like, "This is a real game situation where I need to know what I'm challenging." And he goes, "And also, it matters to these guys at the end of the bench this time."
Well, and it matters
everything
like because you
that.
want to know the ref's explanation. Like
Yeah.
I agree with you're never like trying too hard when it's like your job, especially. And like I said, Nick Nurse coached last year. He has a championship. He's a championship coach.
Yeah.
He coached his team because it was a new team he was coaching. He's like, dude, I need to be here getting to know these guys. Like,
I think
all my
Nick Nurse
staff
is a
to
good
see.
coach.
No, he's a very good coach.
He's undeniably a good coach.
Yeah.
I just like I said, I just feel like the arrogance.
Where's he at, Philly?
I think this Lakers franchise is now a show.
Mhm.
Let's hire JJ Redick. He's this podcast guy. He's LeBron's friend. This is LeBron's
Yeah.
last few years. We're in LA.
They
It's a
said
big
LeBron
deal.
had nothing to do with that decision. I'm like, okay.
Just like LeBron had nothing to do.
Jesus.
Just like, Bronny was fine if he got drafted anywhere.
And then-
Rich
You know
Paul's making
who's-
calls.
Free agency I liked so far is the San Antonio Spurs. Because they drafted a point guard, the point guard from UConn, third overall, I think. And they signed Chris Paul, which I think is great for
Yeah.
a point guard. And then they signed Harrison Barnes. in the small forward spot, and I think that's another guy who's like he's won the finals, he's played well, he's 3-and-D.
I think he sucks.
I don't think he's a great. I think I think they signed 2 veterans where this young team that not going to win the championship next year can really learn from.
I think they're a play-in team. I think they're going to get a play-in.
Yeah.
I think they'd be a 10.
I mean, yeah, obviously, if they signed Paul George and they signed LeBron James and they signed fucking Stephen Curry, that would have been better.
That's not what they're doing. They just want to take the next step, and they sign these vets guys to get these younger guys better. And
they're like, we're not going to shoot for the stars right now.
Coach is like, if they can finish 12 seed or higher, then I think they did a good job.
Even at that, I think those signings are saying like we're almost still tanking with these signings, but we're teaching. We signed 2 coaches in a sense here, and we're going to tank and get a top 5 pick again, and then we'll have 3 top 5 picks, one being probably the future of the league and Victor Wembanyama, go into next year, and we'll really look to sign something serious in the next couple years.
I'm not mad at their moves either. I just like it sucks because being this kind of asshole that I am, I'm like that's not going to win them shit. But I do agree that's pushing their franchise in the right direction.
As we have to do, I think, when you're at the bottom right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
OKC was doing that for years.
That's what. Yeah, Boston. I mean, we were obviously in playoff contention, but I never looked at those teams and thought I just wanted to obviously get to the finals with one of those young teams.
OKC was taking veteran players, big contracts that no one wanted, and saying we'll take him, but also give us a first round pick.
Yeah, then they trade him for another pick.
Yes, they were doing genius shit over there.
So out of all these moves here, Tobias to Detroit, Clay to the Mavericks, Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield to the Warriors, KCP to the Magic, Paul George and Caleb Martin to the Sixers, Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes to the Spurs, DeMar to the Kings, DeMar DeRozan that is, and Derrick Jones Jr. to the Clippers. Any of those moves you think, I guess move the needle, but
the best bet.
Which team benefit move the most?
I love KCP to the Magic because I think they're already a defensive team and they need more 3-point shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Tobias is one of the worst signings I've seen. I mean, you're just a shit franchise, and you're just that's never gonna change, I guess. I also love when you're a team like the Mavericks, where it's like, man, we were 3 wins away from winning the NBA Finals.
The reason we couldn't win is because the 2 guys who were corner 3 shooter
can't hit 3-pointer.
Took it away.
Derrick Jones Jr. went to the Clippers. You didn't do fuck all for us in the finals. You couldn't hit a 3 to save your life. We're gonna sign a guy that's arguably the best of all time at shooting the 3 ball, as well as he has been there, done that, won the finals 4 times. I think that's a great signing.
And today somebody pointed out that the Warriors is very fast-paced. The Mavericks, all Clay has to do is chill while Kyrie and Luka dominate the ball.
No, he's going to be catch and shoot.
He's catch and shoot. He doesn't do a lot of an offensive.
He might have to be more focused defensively, though.
That's the only thing that worries me is he's going to have to be.
I just think it's hard to get back to the finals once you've been there. You have more of a. You always have a target on your back, but you have more of one. And it's like you have to get better. You have to get better every single season in this NBA, and I think they did that with this signing.
Yeah.
You replaced Derrick Jones Jr. with Klay Thompson. Who wouldn't do that?
Right. With PG to the Sixers
and sorry, one more thing about Klay. His contract surprised me because he's still Klay Thompson. I thought he would get he didn't even get $20 million a year.
No, I wouldn't have paid him $20 million a year.
Well, I think he knew
I'm surprised the Warriors wouldn't do that though.
He's like the Warriors are not gonna make it, and the Lakers sure as hell are not gonna make it. Like the Mavs are my best option here.
Yeah.
But my thing that does worry me is the defensive end of that, because it's like I don't think they got better defensively as much as Klay used to be a great.
We'll see, I guess. Yeah.
At 34,
I like that what I meant about his contract was I like that he actually took a contract that he's valued at. Because being Klay Thompson, he could have easily said, "Hey, Tobias Harris just got $26 million, and I'm Klay Thompson."
I think is a great segue to talk about PG's contract.
Yeah,
PG did the opposite of what Klay Thompson did.
Yeah, which I'm never mad at people making money and shit. And PG obviously has this probably, I don't want to say arrogance, but confidence. He was the biggest signing in free agency, but going to that team specifically, and even it's just funny that it happened to be that team, but PG, it's like, dude, you're just putting even more of a target on your back going there, and you're just going to be more of a laughing stock. Caleb Martin actually was a good signing for them because he's a Boston kind of killer. I think those teams that are kind of in the top middle of the East are looking to get those moves to pass us.
I like those signings.
I'm not mad at the signings for them. I'm not like, oh man, now in a 7-game series, we got to play them.
I mean, that's the thing is Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Joel Embiid. Who else do they have there? Caleb Martin. They have someone else as well that I'm missing. Kelly Oubre. They're all losers, but they all build a good team. I think. They drafted Jared McCain. I do like this team. I do like Maxey, McCain, Paul George, Caleb Martin and Joel Embiid with, what's his name off the bench? Kelly Oubre.
What do you think Oubre's shooting splits were last year?
Horrible. 39, 36, 80.
44, 31, 75.
31. 31% from three.
Well,
do you know what they know? They know if you're not a dominant mid-range, if you're not DeMar DeRozan and you're shooting 31% from three and you have a role where it's 3 and D, why the fuck would you be on any team?
Caleb Martin's 3-point shooting percent in the playoffs against the Celtics versus against every other team?
It's like 54% against the Celtics, and then it's like 32.
18 games against the Celtics, 47%. 27 games against every other team, 32%.
Is that more that he's just playing good against us, or our defense isn't closing out?
I think he's an asshole. It's a little bit of both.
But I think Boston, like I said, I'm not scared of anybody anymore after winning a championship, having the signings we have, because I feel like we've moved so far ahead, and like they still haven't made it out of the second round. Like Boston went from like, that little tank situation when we lost Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. It's like, oh, they're still making playoff runs. Oh my God, they're getting better. They've made
conference
it.
finals,
they lost
conference
the finals.
Finals.
They won the finals, and the Sixers. It's like you still haven't made it out of the second round.
Mm-hmm.
So
they gave their top three moneymakers. I don't know how they're going to pay anybody yet. I don't know how these contracts in the NBA work. First of all, what the fuck are these guys doing with all this money? Like, Tobias Harris just got another bag. It's like, what are you doing with $300 million at 33 years old? How do you spend that?
You don't.
That's what I mean. Like, I see some of these guys' houses, or I'm thinking they're like flying an IG model out every day because like that's so much money, bro.
Well, but you got to think like Jason Tatum's house. Like we think because we live in Vegas, like in Massachusetts, it's probably not that expensive for a nice house.
That's what I mean. So why do you? He's about to sign.
You would not take
Jason Tatum has the potential to make $1 billion throughout his whole career.
Oh, he'll make that.
I'm just talking contracts.
No, I know.
Forget his shoe deal. Forget the fucking Hulu commercial. You know what I mean? Like, he'll make $1 billion. What I'm trying to say is, what the fuck are you doing with that? You know
you're just. My thing is though,
especially, but my whole thing is Paul George. Paul George, do you want to win? Paul George, do you want to win? Yeah, then fucking take it. $15 million. $15 million is plenty of money.
Oh, he was going to get the Clippers offered him 2 years, $60 million.
What did he get at?
$40 million a year.
See, I mean, so that right there.
And he goes, well, just give me what you're giving Kawhi because you view us the same. Nobody views you and Kawhi the same.
No. I view you both. I view you both the same in the fact that you don't play when we need you to, and when you play.
The thing is Kawhi doesn't play when you need him to because he's hurt. PG's playing and he's not playing well.
No, yeah,
PG doesn't show up, and then they turned around, and I think Harden lucked out from that because he got 2 years, $70 million. He was like, well, PG's gone. You're gonna throw an extra $10 million my way.
Guy.
And Harden showed up more in the playoffs than PG did last year.
Harden always shows up. He'll have just one or two of those games where he shoots like shit or whatever the case is. But lately he's been more efficient when it comes to like less turnovers and stuff. Like when he was on the Sixers and the Clippers, then with the Rockets, which like I said, I mean, he took the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant and them to Game 7, and we knew in the finals that was a sham of a series. Like I think that gets a little downplayed too. Paul George has never fucking.
Here's Paul George. Now, mind you, he's 34 years old. His playoff stats last year, 19.5 points.
That's horrible.
6.8 rebounds, 4.8 assists. His shooting splits were 42, 29, and 77.
He's a horrible
And you're trying to ask for $40 million a year.
And you don't really take a big step up from 34 to 35 years old. Now, mind you,
$40 million a year for
when
that?
Jason Tatum was shooting like that and we win the championship, he's horrible. You can't give this guy the highest paid player in the NBA, but people are saying now Paul George is going to help the Sixers win the championship, and he deserves a max contract.
So he got what, 40 from them?
Here's
so he's
49.
making $20 million.
50.
So he's making $10 million less than Jason Tatum at 27 years old, who has a championship and led the team who won the championship in all 5 major categories in one series and all in points, rebounds, and assists in the finals.
Oh, and they have Eric Gordon. Their cap hits.
That guy is the worst player in the NBA.
You hate him, huh?
I cannot fucking stand
him. I've
never seen him make a shot.
Their cap hits amongst their top 3 players is Tyrese Maxey, $35.1 million.
He deserves money.
Yes. He's the best player on that team as of right now.
He is amazing.
Paul George, $49.2 million, and Joel Embiid, $51.4 million.
$49.2 million for like
$100 million, over $100 million between Embiid and Paul George just on their salary this year.
I want to
What have they done to? What have they done to deserve this?
Make this a short because I'm going to send it to Mike Lombardi, Bill. See if we get an answer here. As a general manager, do you sit down with Paul George and slide him a piece of paper and say you average 19 points a game, 40% shooting, less than 35% shooting from three, less than 80% shooting from the free throw line, and you're asking for $40 million when you haven't won a championship, you haven't brought really anything to a city or a team besides, an average career, at what point do you maybe think that what you're taking is kind of hurting us
And then you
as
flip
a
the paper
franchise?
over and it says, go fuck yourself.
Right. Like I said, you go in there and say we view you the same. It's like, oh, you have 2 champions. Oh, you're defensive. Oh, you.
Hey, Kawhi's
Oh,
done
you
a
don't
lot
have,
of...
you don't have any of that. So
Go to Kawhi's jewelry room and tell me what the fuck he's got.
that's why I say with those type of guys, like I said, if it was me, if it's me now that I'm 27 and shit, and you said to me if I'm Tobias Harris, you can either make $26 million a year in Detroit or $5 million a year in Boston, I would take the $26 million because I'm like, okay.
What if
money.
you've already made $300 million?
But if I'm Tobias Harris and I've already made $300 million, I would literally go to play in Boston for free because I'm like, I just need to win, man.
I would say I'll pay you
All
guys
because
$1 million
they're
a
taking vet minimums to
season.
play for them.
I will give you guys $500,000 a year
Yeah.
to let me play for you guys.
I mean, yeah.
And honestly, I think if he said I'll take a vet minimum, the Celtics would go, your play style doesn't fit. Fuck off.
I'm just saying, like I said, with these players,
I'm
yeah.
being serious though. I
So
think
we
they
brought back 13 of 15 players, and we're just waiting on Brissett. Brissett's hoping for more playing time and more money. If he doesn't get it, he's coming
I think
back.
he deserves more playing time.
who
think
the
so, too.
fuck is selling this dream to who? Who is selling the dream to the owner of the Pistons that firing Monty Williams after the 1 year,
And they still owe him $60 million or something.
after that 1 year of that deal, and signing Tobias Harris is pushing you in the right direction? What, like who? How does that happen?
Who's in the owners? Yeah.
They have a whole new front office.
And that's what Brad Stevens said. He goes, my favorite part about joining the Celtics was I know Ainge and Wick stick with coaches. He's like, they stuck with Doc through the hard times. They told me we're rebuilding. We're going to stick with you. They stuck with me. Ainge retired. I moved up. I let Ime know we're going to stick with you. But we
Well,
have a
yeah.
team.
Then you fucked the
And
owner.
he stuck somebody.
his wife.
And then Joe, we're down 3-0 to the Heat. They're saying fire this guy. And it's like, imagine if Brad and Wick overreacted and fired Joe Mazzulla.
I don't think that was ever a conversation.
No, not at all. Brad
wanna
Stevens
say-
was like, we're fine.
To the asshole who commented that Jason Tatum, people wanted rid of him. I don't know. Like I said, I've watched Kendrick Perkins say they should be traded. I don't really see many. I don't think I heard of any other Boston fans. Our friend J Max, a Boston fan. Anytime we brought up Jason Tatum getting traded or just any one of those two leaving, it's like they're the only two. That's the biggest reason we have a shot at winning the title. Even when someone said trade Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum for Kevin Durant, we were like, dude, I wouldn't.
No.
They
And
said
people
trade
called us-
Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant, and now who's the Finals MVP?
And people called us crazy. Like, there were certain people that
Yeah.
like Kevin, because I get it, Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant, but we were like, dude, I just feel like, man, like, we're like, and I get it, Jaylen Brown's at 5 rings before 27. Obviously, he's an ambitious guy, but like, these
was
guys
the
are
same-
26, 27, and they won their first finals before KD did, before Curry did. Like, let's take a step
It was
back.
the same thing for the whole Jimmy Butler saga and the Kawhi Leonard saga. I'm like, no, I don't want Jimmy Butler. He's not going to win it. I don't want Kawhi for a year. It's like, get these two players.
Also,
and
these
they'll-
two aren't injury prone, and they're not in their 30s. What
Jason
else?
Tatum has never missed
Even
a playoff game.
Dre at my work, who I take for big basketball takes, he knows basketball. He was like, I think if you guys don't, he was like, this year your team's perfect. You should win it. You're the favorites. If you don't win it this year, I think you got to disband this. I was even like, yeah, but the two guys, like the disbanding, because he was like, one of them got to go. I was like, they're 26 and 27. You got to learn. You got to learn how to lose before. Yeah, that's the thing. That's another thing. It's like, okay, and do what exactly? It's like, let's say, okay, we're keeping Tatum. We lost it again. We still haven't quite. We're letting Brown go. What are you getting to replace Jaylen Brown?
Right.
And it's like Kevin Durant. It's like you just replaced a 27-year-old Kevin Durant with a 34-year-old Kevin Durant.
Right. In terms of like, he gets the job done the same way, a different way that Kevin Durant does, but he got. I mean,
You got to give a guy who's going to
The
guard.
guy won the Finals MVP.
Who's going to guard Luka and play offensively how he plays and crash the boards who's going to do all that? Find me a guy who's going to do all that. And
Here's the thing too. I saw Paul George in one of his podcast shows. He was saying the Clippers. He's like, well, they got rid of all these guys. They got rid of Batum for that trade they made for Harden, and it was like, oh, they got rid of all the guys that are going to play defense for you, so you can be lazy on defense now because you're older and everything like that. Jason Tatum's like, what player in Jason Tatum's where he's ranked is going to do what he did and say, I'll take the back seat. I don't need MVPs.
Jaylen Brown did the same thing too.
Yeah,
They both. It's not even a backseat. They're both just like we know like we want to win. It's not like I'm going to sit there and not shoot.
I'm not going to have Luka's numbers when we win this series.
Right, and I'm okay with that
And it's
because
not-
I'm going to win the series.
and like somebody said, it's not like, oh yeah, you take a shot, I take a shot. It's like, what's the best shot for the team?
right,
And that's another forgotten thought about
They let Derek White went off for 30+ points against the Heat. They don't. They're like,
That's another thing with Paul George and whatnot in those contracts and Tobias Harris. It's like, Well, we've seen it's like he's not going to get better at 34. He's in the last 3 years of his career. Not all these guys are LeBron, too. And he had a broken foot. He's had torn this. He's done that. He's missed that. You took an injury-prone guy who's 34, who's not the same guy he was when he was 28. Even when he was with the Thunder and the MVP finalist thing, especially not the guy he was in Indiana. Like, what do you think's going to happen?
So that's my two questions are, like I said, you look at Joel Embiid's health, you look at Paul George's health. How are you confident in that for a 9-month season and then in the playoffs? Because they need continuity. Like we saw with the Suns, you need to play together because that doesn't work. And then in my job right now and Billy's job right now, if we walked into our boss and said, hey, we want to raise, and I guess in the NBA it's just because they have that much money as in terms of a league, but you don't look at the guy and slide him a piece of paper and say, hey, so you guys lost to this team in this series this year, this team in this series this year. You had a 3-1 lead against the Nuggets this year.
You've played like shit.
And this is what you've done to attribute to that. You want me to sign you for $40 million a year? Does that sound fair to you?
But to him, for Paul George, it's the same with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's big thing with whatever was, the big argument with him was, if you don't give him $45 million a year, the Texans or somebody will when they didn't have Stroud. Somebody's going to, so you have to give it to him.
Right.
Like if you're the Sixers, you go, we want Paul George. We think that's a good starting shooting guard, small forward on this team that can make us a championship team. What do we got to give him? We want to give him $25 million a year. It's like if you don't give him 50, someone is.
Yeah, he's not going to come. It doesn't matter anyway.
The Pistons just gave Tobias Harris 26. You think they won't give Paul George 40? Come on.
That's insane to me. I did hear Michael Lombardi said that with the Dak Prescott thing. Because he was in a boot and stuff, he was like, I think he's just being precautious. There is nothing more to it. It is a little bit like, ooh, you kind of question that as a Cowboys fan. Did you see that? He had a walking boot on. And apparently he said when he goes deep sea fishing, because of his ankle that broke, it kind of swells up.
This shit happens like that in different climates.
No, of course.
This dude I went on a trip with was on a plane, and he had an ACL tear from 5 years ago, and his knee was swollen the whole trip.
Yeah, well, but what he said was, not that it wouldn't be the worst, but he's like, the Cowboys want to see what Trey Lance has because they're hoping they can get like at least half of that money taken off because they aren't really, doesn't seem like they're in love with giving.
If for some reason Trey Lance is 80% of the player Dak is, and he'll take
half the money,
50% of the money, I'll do that.
You have to.
Yeah.
You can't not do it because like you see what Malik Hooker said about Micah Parsons too. I was like, oh man.
I know about him being on the internet.
Yeah, I agree with it though. Like you got to pick like what like this is your job, and he wants to go on there. We talked about
that, did we not?
He wants to go on there and say, oh, if Dak Prescott did this, you guys would say this. It's like, dude, you guys haven't won shit, so you can say whatever you want, but like, there's one team at the end of the year who gets to talk shit. You're not in there, so you kind of come off like a crybaby. And like Malik Hooker said, you get sacks and this, that, the other, but our run defense sucks. Like, we need to work. Like, we're here to play football and win football games.
And I think Malik Hooker's a veteran and a leader, and he's a guy that I said to Billy, I was like, when I see, like, I'll see really good analysts rank their top 10, top whatever safeties, and he's always in the top 10. And I was like,
you need to listen to that guy.
I was like, I don't think I got whatever you see in a Malik Hooker. And Billy was like, well, we never hear his name called. He was like, which is a good thing, I think. And I was like, no, that's true. That's a very good point.
I was always told that if you're a secondary player, if I don't hear your name, you're doing something right. Because usually it's like, oh, this guy got beat. That's why I'm hearing your name.
Yeah.
I was hearing that our secondary was like horrible. Like they were like, because even Michael Lombardi was like, they couldn't guard anybody man to man. And I'm like, I feel like we didn't play that bad as this. I mean, I know Bland had a bunch of picks and we lost Trayvon Diggs.
I thought Gilmore played well up until the Packers game.
Yeah, I thought so too. But I mean, our defense in general against the Packers.
We're missing the best guy. I honestly think Trayvon Diggs, you could say whatever the fuck you want about, Cortland Sutton doesn't give up yards or this and that, and Diggs does. Cortland Sutton. Patrick Surtain.
Oh.
I'm thinking of the wrong side of the Broncos. Same with Sauce Gardner. A guy can get you double-digit picks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like
and he plays in phase versus out of phase and all this. I think Trayvon Diggs is a top 5 corner in the league for my money, and I think he's the best one on the Cowboys, even if DeJuan Bland and Stephon Gilmore are there. So missing him, as soon as he tore his ACL, we lost the next game, which I'm not saying that's why we did. I just think, like, as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, of course.
That was in practice, too, huh?
Yep.
I think Diggs, Bland at the corners.
The turf shit has to fucking go.
Yeah, I don't understand that, man, because everyone, like, knows that's, like, the answer, too.
I mean, literally, they're bringing the World Cup here, and the countries and all this saying, we're not playing on turf, so you're going to put, and they're saying, yeah. All the stadiums, MetLife, all these stadiums that have turf on their fields, AT&T Stadium as well, is putting in grass for the World Cup, for the soccer teams. It's like, so you can do it.
Oh, they can do it.
So you're just saying, but here's the thing. It's like, oh, the money in this. Well, don't you think you save more money by having Aaron Rodgers not tear his fucking Achilles on turf
4 plays into the season.
versus putting. Don't you save more money by that rather than losing it by paying more money to field upkeep? You know,
it's a common story of robbing Paul to pay Peter. Yeah.
Yeah, spend $1 to save a dime.
Yep. And they're going to 18 games, which I do like because they're going to get 2 bye weeks. Joe Burrow had an interesting take on that. I don't know if you heard that too. He said what they should do is on week 13, make it a universal bye and do like the Pro Bowl shit that week. Michael Lombardi was like, they're not going to do during a week of NFL regular season, just lose all that money on that. But I was like, oh, that's an interesting kind of take. Like week 13, just make all the Pro Bowl shit that week and give everybody
You
a
like
bye.
that shit?
I do.
Okay.
Well, you're not doing anything with it, so like you're Paul George of what's going on here.
Look, the money is there, but you have not performed for shit.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys haven't. What do you guys think about that? I don't think he was listening.
Nope. Neither was I.
Okay. So Joe Burrow said week 13 of the end of the.
Oh, the bye weeks? I saw everything he said about that.
Yeah, 18 weeks, 2 bye weeks, week 13.
Pro Bowl festivities to get the Pro Bowl ratings up. I saw that. I don't give a fuck about the Pro Bowl. I don't care what week you put it in.
I think they should just cancel it.
Who gives a fuck? I'll tell you,
skills.
I like the shit they're doing now with flag football game because they know if they put helmets and pads on, the guys are going to go, I'm not tackling.
Nobody's going to risk week 13 in playoff contention. They're not going to be week 12.
Hey, I got to go play dodgeball in the
Chiefs-
Pro Bowls. They're going to say, are you
The Chiefs
fucking
are
out of your mind?
9-3 and go, I think we send Kelsey and Mahomes to go play flag football.
I'm
Maybe
sorry
they'll
to
roll an
say
ankle.
it, but you either take the Pro Bowl for what it is, which is, it was in Vegas recently, right? Or I'm tripping. Yeah, it was. As
Yeah, it was.
Allegiant.
I think it should be a party.
It should just be like that, where like people went to
Should
be
be the
like
Beer Olympics.
people went.
Yeah.
People went to like Micah Parsons is here, bro. I'm a Cowboy fan. That's awesome. You know what I mean? It's not to watch an actual.
You don't want to see the Kelsey
football.
brothers. Like, you pick your teams.
It
Beer
is what it
Olympics.
is.
You want to see
Like,
the Kelsey
it is-
brothers who can
Or
chug
you
a picture
cancel
of
it.
beer the
Or you
fastest.
cancel it. Who gives a fuck about the Pro Bowl?
Like Billy said, I think they do a skills challenge and then they do something fun. Like I literally think you line up 10 people from like each conference and you guys play like flip cup, or like you do like
Drinking games would be fucking
race
awesome.
case race or something.
And just do drinking games one year. I bet your fucking ratings go up.
Yeah. Well.
O lineman versus D lineman.
Yeah.
AFC versus NFC. O lineman versus O line. D line
Or I
versus
think
D-line.
they should do fun shit like linemen catching punts. You know what I mean? Like
quarterback beer pong.
yeah, exactly. Something, but like it's just a sham. I think the week 13 thing is stupid because a lot of teams are going to be like, well, my guy's nursing a shoulder injury, so I'm not going to go watch him play dodgeball and throw his fucking labrum out because he's we're taking a week off. I think it should just be at the end of the year like it is. If you want to come and play, we'll invite Gardner Minshew, I guess, because that's who went, and you're going to sit here and play this flag football game. I just think it's football.
I genuinely think, how like Josh Allen was supposed to be in the Pro Bowl, but he said, I don't want to be in, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I think if you make it a drinking Olympics, I think he would go, I'm going to be in that.
Or what they should do is do the Pro Bowl should be a basketball game.
That could work.
Yeah, I just don't know how you, like I said, I don't know, like a tournament style basketball game because there's like 40 guys who make it. Just do 8 teams of 5 and play a 5-minute basketball game and like a little round robin tournament. I don't know. Like I said, it's not
half
fun.
court 3v3 something.
Yeah,
That'd be cool. You got to think of something. But at 40 guy, you got O lineman, and it's not saying they can't play basketball, but you know what I mean.
that'd be hilarious to see though.
I mean, Tyron Smith, though. Imagine him.
jacking threes.
You've seen him.
Well,
Just dish him in the paint.
Yeah.
he'd get hurt.
Yeah,
Well,
he would
his
break his
finger,
neck.
break his
Yeah, he would
finger.
get hurt, but
He's not. He's on the Jets, huh?
he's on
Yeah.
the Jets now.
Wow. That's the thing, though. Tyron Smith, as hurt as he is, if Tyler Smith is he going to be a left tackle?
He's got to be left guard.
He's going to be left guard. So the tackle we drafted in the first round is going to be the tackle, left
From
tackle.
Oklahoma, yeah.
If that guy's not half of Tyron Smith, you're going to go, I'll take 12 games of Tyron Smith versus 17 games of that fucking guy.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't think it'll matter. I think our quarterback's gonna fuck us in the end anyway.
I guess that's true.
I mean, in that game, Mike Lombardi said it. Like Mike McCarthy can look at it and say, I mean, he says like you need to take accountability for that game. We had 500 yards of offense. We put up this many points, and it's like
No.
250, 300 of those yards were the game was over at halftime.
27-0 at half.
As a fan, we were like, okay, we just get one score. Like we all were like, score a touchdown, he threw a pick six. It's like okay,
20-0,
score a
it's like,
touchdown,
bro.
get a field goal, you get a stop.
At 20-0, we
couldn't
were all
stop.
thinking 20-7, and you get the ball at half, you're fine. Pick six, 27. Even at I was going 27-7, and you get the ball at half, and then you go 27-14. You're fine. You get a stop. Nope. Just
Just
play
making
bad.
negotiations like his life was on the line.
No, yeah. That was horrific to watch. And like I said, part of me was like, hoping that something opened up in Jerry Jones' eyes and was like, "Okay, this is not going to work." It's partially the way we play, because we did try to just score with them. After a certain point, we didn't take control. Like we started to play their game, and it just wasn't going to work out. But I just feel like football's so hard because there's so many layers to fixing a team and putting them in championship contention.
I think we skip numbers 4 and 6 on this, and we stay live with number 7. Could maybe even skip 5 for the first. I think that's all over and done with. Wimbledon, just Wimbledon, quick. Medvedev beat Sinner, and it's Medvedev Alcaraz in the semi. I like that. I'm gonna watch that shit on Friday.
Oh, I'm off Friday. I'll be watching that for sure.
That's a great matchup.
Djokovic plays tomorrow, Wednesday.
Does he?
He plays, A. D. Manure. And Musetti plays, was it Thomas Fritz? I think it's Thomas Fritz. It's going to be Alcaraz and Djokovic.
I love that.
I mean, it's got
I love it.
And whatever the
Medvedev could do it, though. But, yeah, I do like Alcaraz Joker.
And depending on the odds, I might have a bet on that. I think
I like Alcaraz.
I think Alcaraz is going to bring it.
I did want to say in golf, the Open is next week. Thursday, July 18th to Sunday, July 21st.
What's the favorite, Scotty?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it has to be right.
Anytime a ball gets put on a fucking tee, that guy's going to be the favorite to win it. I'm going to look it up right now and see what we got. Go ahead, Dan.
I'm trying to look at a bet of the week here. I'm not touching this England-Netherlands game. England's a slight favorite. They're both... Oh, man. This is a tough one. Oh, my God. Guess what the odds... Uruguay's plus 180. Guess what Colombia is?
185.
Plus 185.
Mm-hmm.
That is as close as it can get. And I do like Colombia to win that. I'm not going to touch that either, though. I don't like it enough. I'm kind of like, for my betting, I like to bet the Premier League. I like to bet the NFL. And I like to bet the NBA. Those are all fucking toast right now. So,
right.
UFC, I'll probably be betting on this next card.
I haven't looked into it much, but yeah, Scotty Scheffler's plus 400 to win the fucking Open, which is just sucks because it's so hard to bet. Brooks Koepka plus 2,500. They just keep sleeping on that guy. Hideki Matsuyama's a fat piece of shit. Jordan Spieth is hurt. Justin Thomas sucks. It's just kind of hard because in golf right now, I feel like a lot of the good guys aren't playing very good.
Mm-mm.
Like Rory's plus 800. Are you ever going to bet that guy to win
No.
anything? I mean, I just feel like it'd be cool to watch him win because it's been fucking Christ. He hasn't won a fucking major in so long. Damn, a hole in one in this next tournament's minus 155 for yes. That's
Let's go with that other would you rather as well. Would you rather be bald by 20 or 5'3"?
Bald by 20.
What would you say?
Bald by 20.
I think most 99% of men would go bald by 20. So I'm gonna go with 5'6".
Bald by
That's how
20.
tall you are, right?
No, I'm about 5'8", prick.
Okay.
Have you seen the new Stavros' stand-up?
No. Yes.
When he talks about, he goes, I'm 5'7". He goes, all you gotta do is talk to your friends about a couple inches tall, like 2 inches tall, and they'll be like, well, we're the same height. And
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
them freak out.
Yeah.
5'6" or bald by 20.
With a full head of hair would be the 5'6".
Do I get to pick my hair?
Full head.
Like a player in fucking FIFA, I get to just...
Better than the shit you got now.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Like my hair.
Do you think you got good hair or something?
Great hair.
Red is not very fun.
It doesn't have something different, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely different.
I wouldn't change it.
Yeah. You know what else is different?
You can't.
Leprosy, but
Yes, you
I
can.
don't want that.
Hitler was different.
Are your pubes red?
Yeah, what do you think?
Remember that clickbait episode?
Yeah.
He was pissed.
Because people will ask you that, like, hey, what color are your pubes?
Yeah.
I ask you what color your pubes are. And I'm just like, the whole time I'm sitting there like, you're a fucking idiot, aren't you? Hey, what color's your hair? And they're like, brown. I'm like, your pubes are brown, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, they are. I'm like, oh.
I think it hurts you a little, huh? I mean,
No, it doesn't.
As much as you say you like the red hair.
It's just,
It's tough to look at that little fire crotch, isn't it?
First of all, it's just like the stupidity of man. And then secondly, it's just like, you got some nerve asking me what color my goddamn pubes are, you know?
No, I don't think
But
so.
I like it. I appreciate it. At least you care. I'll get random people asking me that. I'm like, who the fuck are you? I don't even know your name.
Yeah, no, exactly. Are we almost done here?
Yeah, what would you rather be, the 5'6" or bald?
I think bald, man. I just don't. 5, 6.
I don't think bald's that bad.
No, I don't.
I will say this, though. If I was balding, if it was getting bad and I could go to Turkey, I would do that and fix that up.
Yeah, exactly. Would you rather be bald or have...
Like, I'm not a big plastic surgery guy. Like, I don't think men or women should do it. I think you look how you look and go for it.
Would you rather be bald or have one of your fingers cut off? Answer a better question.
I get to keep I just look how I look with one less finger.
Yep.
I'll lose the finger.
Okay.
Be bald.
Really?
Yeah, I can't do it.
I don't know. You don't have to feel it.
I can't do it. I'm like Granny. Just
Yeah, Granny literally was like, if they ever have to cut my toe off, just fucking kill me. And I was like, oh my God, what are you're 86. What the fuck you doing with one less toe? Who gives a shit?
All right.
You have 7 teeth. You can't lose one toe.
How dare you? What's a trivia? Or would you rather?
one more.
I mean, if
Answer the internet. It's would you rather bang a chick that slept with 1,000 dudes or one animal?
Oh, 1,000, dude. Are you fucking crazy?
it depends on the animal.
One animal?
Oh.
Yeah, do I get to know the... No, that's... Bro, that is...
So you're telling me she's had sex with no men but one animal?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy of her to be doing.
Yeah, that is...
You think you would try out humans before animals?
Dude, yeah, no. If
1,000 dudes. But I just sleep with the chick? That's it?
Yeah, you just have to sleep with her.
I'll take the 1,000 dudes.
Yeah, she's going to do some things you might not even know existed.
What about marrying a chick?
1,000 dudes.
1,000 dudes?
As long as they're all before me, and then after that, it's just me. Bro,
so you're laying. I would wake up though at least a couple times in the middle of the night and be like, a fucking 1,000 dudes.
No,
sweetheart.
of course, yeah. I think that now about like whether it's 10 or 15.
You got to be a real idiot to think you're special when you're the 1,000th dude.
Oh well, I'm not going to say someone's name, but he thought he was special. You know what I'm talking about? He knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh.
Who? What? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But because think about that. Think about you like you're watching, like not you're watching, but like Grim has sex with a woman and you're having sex with her. That is disgusting to think. That is just foul.
Yeah, I kind of honestly,
like
you
a
could
gerbil?
call this might be a bad
Gerbil.
Then I'd be like, this is a huge cock I got here, isn't it? She's like, yeah, compared to that gerbil, you twerp. Now put it in. But I kind of think of those two women as the same. As bad as that might be.
Nah.
Just because I'm like, you have no pride to let 1,000 cocks into you.
I think.
And then I'm also like, you let a fucking orangutan fuck you? Are you crazy?
Yeah, no, that's way worse. Because, dude, think about it. Like, if you were a girl and you went to college and you're like you were just having fun, like, what's wrong with just having sex with random dudes and just going and having sex with guys? Like, that's nothing wrong with that. But to look and say, like, hey, when Stacy goes to the bathroom, I'm going to let her dog fuck me. Like, that is crazy.
Yeah, that is fucking crazy.
Like I said, 1,000 dudes, because, like, you don't even think about it. Like, one a month is 30 people. Or one, no,
But
sorry.
she might have been like, well, I was real drunk.
One a month is 12
It was a
people.
dare.
1 a month is 12 people. After, 3 years, that's 36 people. Like,
Well, she just, went to Tijuana, had some tequila, the worm, and then just joined a donkey show.
Yeah, that's after 30 years. It's 1,000 though, Eric.
no, but I'm saying, like, if they did 2 a month, like.
If you met a girl right now your age, 27 years old, and she said, I've had sex with 1,000 men, you would burn her at the stake.
I would say, okay, well, like, I would, I wouldn't be opposed to having sex with her. I'd maybe
Well, right then and there, I would go, well, it's going to be 1,001 tonight, sweetheart.
Right, exactly.
100%.
But
I'm talking marriage. That's why the sex part is easily the 1,000 men.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting here, right?
And I'm wearing a Jimmy for the fucking.
If I'm sitting in a room with 2
You got to
women,
marry her and have kids with her.
Yeah, 1,000. If I'm sitting in a room with 2 women and one says, I have to admit something to you, I had sex with a dog, and the other one says, I had sex with 1,000 men, I'm like, I didn't even hear how many men you said, because this lady just she had sex.
I heard men and I was
With a
good because
border collie.
you fucked the. But I'll tell you this much: if you had a gun to my head and they said 1,000 men or one dog, the gun would go off because I would say, just forget it.
I'll ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have 10 men fuck you or have sex with one animal? You have to have sex with an animal. So 10 men.
It always goes to this place where I got to do something I don't want to do.
Of course.
Instead of one man.
No.
Yeah, it can't be one guy fucked me.
No, 10 men.
10 men, so I'm either Sketch
Yep.
or.
Which I
At
will
one
say.
time.
Shout out Sketch, though. I love him.
I mean, I don't care what people do sexually. I told you guys, no kids and no animals, and you can have sex with
I love
whoever you
it.
want consensually. But no, I'm saying 10 men get to bang you.
Mhm.
It's not 10 in a row, but like
Right.
I don't know how you would determine the time.
Yeah, how would you
we'll
want-
say one
how-
a week for 10 weeks.
What would you want your schedule to be like for that?
You get every Saturday,
Or I gotta bang one animal.
or you have to fuck.
You would think you'd want to get that over.
You know,
with,
this is
right?
a real tough question for me because I don't like men and I don't like to fuck animals. So this is a real tough one, isn't it? But I'm gonna go with the animal, like Billy said, and just get it out of the way.
Oh my god, man, that's sick.
Yeah, it
You're
is.
sick.
I know I am. But like, if I would have said 10 men fuck me
I wouldn't
one
do
a
that
week, you would have
either.
been like, you're fucking sick,
I wouldn't
dude.
do that either.
Yeah.
You're really not disgusting. No,
That was a trick. You were supposed to not answer that.
I just want, dude, an animal like it's crazy.
On the third guy, you'd be like, I should have picked the animal. I think on the as soon as it slid in, you were like, give me the animal.
Yeah, at least I get to be in control. No, I don't know.
What animal would you pick? Because they let you pick.
Gerbil.
You're a
Someone
sick.
swope your ass.
You're a
He
sick
would
fuck.
kill that thing. He would literally let me put it. It'd be like,
We're banging the animal.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
sick bastard.
You would kill that thing.
I'll pick a mermaid.
Yeah.
The centaur.
It's a minotaur.
You're really gay for saying that. What's a centaur?
It's half man, half horse.
Oh,
Or half woman, half horse.
Oh, I guess I've never seen that version.
You don't watch the shows I watch.
Apparently not.
BoJack Horseman.
That's a great show.
I just can't imagine. Great is the word.
No, it's
was pretty funny.
It's all-time great show.
I don't.
I'll put $100 on it.
Okay,
You
I'm
watch
with
all
that.
the seasons,
I
and you'll
agree.
come back to me.
Okay.
And you watch. I'll recommend you watch Game of Thrones, and you tell me what's better.
Yeah, I'm good.
You,
No,
tell me,
actually,
you tell me what ends
I almost
better.
started it last night.
Game of Thrones. You should.
I thought of it.
I think you'll like the first episode, but I think you'll like the first season as well. But I think you'll be very confused.
Well, yeah.
Don't go. You can't be doing like the FaceTime or the text thing. You got to pay attention.
No, exactly. That's where
'Cause
my
you
problem
turn
is.
your head for 5 minutes and you're like, who the fuck's
Three
that guy?
characters here, and the other three are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 10. That's still just weighing in my head. Make sure that's a short. I like to see what people are interested in, but I feel like I would think more people would like to have a little fun in life. Like, dude, I'm not going to bang 10 dudes or an animal, but I just like to see if you were put in
Yeah,
that
I'm not a
situation
psychopath.
where your head. would
Neither
be.
of us are going, well, can't believe I have to fuck that dog now.
Yeah.
You know, because I said it on that podcast when Eric asked me that joking question. Or Eric's not going home like, oh, I can pick the 10 guys to come fuck me. But like, yeah, we're having some fun.
We talked about alligators and crocodiles.
But seriously, if you're a woman out there and you've had sex with either 1,000 men, especially an animal, go get some fucking help.
Yeah, and the help being buy a shotgun and put it in your mouth and literally
Yeah, the help's down at gun store.
erase your head from your shoulder.
Yeah.
'Cause that is fucking disgusting.
Crocodiles and alligators. This is for Danny. It's Shark Week this week. Are you gonna
Oh,
watch
hell yeah, dude.
No, I'm not gonna watch
Sunday, July 7th through Saturday, July 13th?
What do
That's
they-
Discovery. National Geographic does an entire Shark Fest. It's in the entire month of July. 4
Dude,
weeks.
where do I find this?
People love that shit. Huh?
National
sick.
Geographic's is on Disney Plus.
I like all that Planet
Yeah,
Earth
that.
shit.
Discovery is on HBO Max.
I
Yeah,
love all the
both.
Planet Earth shit, and they tell you things. I mean, how much more can I learn about sharks? You know, unless they found some new shark,
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
John Cena's hosting Shark Week though.
retired from the WWE.
I saw that.
This is his last WrestleMania next year.
Does he come? Oh, I thought he was retired.
This is his final tour,
Oh,
final matches.
but he'll come back.
Yes, they
Like,
always
he'll
They
random-
always do.
He'll randomly hear his music and he'll come back and F you someone.
That's
F
gonna be
you-
the most electric one.
Is it F you or F5?
Both.
FU.
What's he
F5
do?
is Brock Lesnar.
F5's Brock Lesnar.
What's
And,
the
five finger
five
shuffle.
knuckle shuffle?
Yeah.
5 finger shuffle.
Nope.
Fingers 5 of them.
It is
He
5
is
fingers.
currently tied with Ric Flair for the most world championships all time with 16.
Mm.
Randy Orton's second with 14.
Does Randy Orton wrestle anymore?
Yeah, he just got paid back from back surgery.
I
Now
mean, give it up.
He's a dog.
they went to France.
What do you think,
And
John?
let me tell you,
Cena's-
the French crowd was electric. Randy Orton came out, and first time in his career, they were singing his theme song. Ever since then, every crowd's doing it. But the cameras from the French crowd was shaking the entire time. Like, that's how...
They don't fuck around in those other countries, man.
No.
Oh my God! What do you think that John Cena's net worth is?
Net worth? It's something crazy. 350 million.
Nope.
No.
Not even
600.
close. Not even close.
What?
80 million. It says.
Oh, really?
Oh,
What do you
no
think,
way.
What do you think Triple H's is?
Triple H is a part owner of the WWE. I
$250
believe.
billion.
Yes. What's Vince McMahon? Because he's married to Vince McMahon's daughter. Triple
I
H.
would fuck her too.
Me too.
It says Randy Orton's net worth is $110 million.
John Cena's has to be higher. That's
Yeah.
got to be wrong.
I just look it up on here, and they tell me what they tell me. $3 billion for Vince McMahon.
Second is Dwayne The Rock Johnson at $800 million.
Yeah, I would have said he's up there. God damn.
Any fighting or UFC talk or anything? Or
We got in the clinch. Shakur
At the end of the
Stevenson.
month, Shakur Stevenson is the most boring fighter.
That
of all
Cameron
time.
May shit had me crying, bro.
he
they're
fought again? Shakur, didn't he just fight Ryan?
That was not him. That was Devin Haney.
Oh, they're all the
Another
same.
boring fucking fighter.
And when they're all the same, I mean boxers.
Oh, come on. You can't be saying they're all the same.
It's boxers, I mean. They're
Are
all
you
the same.
out of your fucking mind?
Boxers are all the same. They all suck. They're all boring.
I would disagree with that.
Really, what's the last boxing fight you watched where you were like, that even compared to a UFC fight?
I think Ryan Garcia is a much more aggressive and fun fighter than a lot of the guys that we're talking about right now.
Oh, for sure. I'm not saying that there's not, but like
The last boxing match that I watched and thought, holy shit, that was just... I thought Fury Usyk was
Fury
good.
was very good.
Fury Wilder fights were good. But those guys are big, fucking... They go for knockouts, you know?
yeah.
Not necessarily Fury.
I
But
feel like Tank Garcia was good.
Tank Garcia was good. Haney was good because of Garcia only, though.
Yeah. Haney and Shakur Stevenson they play safe.
I love watching Lomachenko fight.
Lomachenko's just beautiful to watch.
Even though he's not necessarily, because of his size, like a knockout guy, his fighting is tremendous.
He's
pure
skill-wise.
class.
He's a pure.
He's as good as it gets. I think he got robbed in that Haney fight. I think he was hurt against TFMO.
Mhm.
I think he should be undefeated right now.
He should be undefeated for sure.
What I'll say is Klay Thompson is a 4-time NBA champion, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 1-time All-Defensive Player. Tobias Harris finished 20th in Most Improved Player voting in 2018. Klay has made $316 million, and Tobias has made $302 million for those two different.
That guy's
players.
agent is the GOAT.
I mean, I'm not mad at him. And then also, after this summer, Jason Tatum's potential resume: 1-time NBA champion, 5-time NBA All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 1-time All-Star Game MVP, 1-time Eastern Conference Finals MVP, most playoff points before turning 27, most points in a Game 7, only 30-point per game season in Celtics history. It's basically a Hall of Fame record at 26 years old.
Here's actually another fun Jason Tatum stat. In 113 games played, he's one of 5 players in the NBA playoffs to log at least 2,500 points, 500 rebounds, 500 assists, 250 threes, 100 steals, 100 blocks. The other 4 players were Kobe did it in 220 games. LeBron did it in 287 games. Durant did it in 170 games.
How many?
And Pierce did it in 170 games.
Jesus.
Jason Tatum did it in 113.
Damn.
So
He didn't hear that, but he would have liked that.
You know who Tobias Harris' agent is?
His mother.
His father.
Wow. That was a great guess.
Well, he's outdone himself.
No wonder that's why they're making so much money, because his dad's like, dude, fuck
Fucking
this.
who gives a fuck?
I'm going to make you money to make myself money. I don't care if we're winning because we made money, which, like I said,
They are winning.
If they came out, like Sean O'Malley came out, was like, I won the belt. Even if he didn't win the belt and he was like, I just want to make the most money possible. It's like, okay, man, well, you have to still put in the work to do that.
There's
Like
certain
Tobias
players
Harris-
who want to be the GOAT, and certain players who care about legacy, and other ones care about money, and some care about both. Tobias Harris is going, I'm not going to be considered the greatest player ever.
And he hasn't come out and said anything about it. If he came out and said, I'm coming here to win a championship, and my whole career's been about winning a championship, I would say, dude,
I would say he has to say that because
I wouldn't.
that's how you get paid, right?
I mean,
But
yeah.
but outside of that, I would go, that's bullshit. If he just said though, like,
I'm talking
bro,
if he
I'm
gave
just
true
trying to.
truth
If he
serum.
was given truth serum, yeah, and he was going, oh, I just care about making as much money as I can, I would go, okay, then you're one of the best ever. Actually,
I would say, actually, yeah, you've outdone yourself.
you've probably done better than anyone else ever.
He's made $14 million. Is that $14 million less than Klay Thompson?
Yeah, 16, I think 18 to 02 or 04,
316
304.
to 304, 302. Yeah.
Yeah, 14,
Less than
something
20
like that.
million less than a guy who's a 4-time champion and the
Who's
second
probably
best
three
three-point
times
shooter
better,
of all
three
time.
times the player he is.
Oh, 100. Bro, he's the
If you
second
told me
best.
Clay made $318 million and you said based on their play, what should Tobias Harris make? I would say $50 million.
I would say 318,000.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like he hasn't done literally anything in the biggest games they've needed him. He had 0 point. I think it was him and somebody. Fuck, who was on their team? I think they had 0 points in Game 6 or 7 against the Knicks or something.
Buddy Hield.
Might have been. It was like 2 guys that they paid, and I'm like, those 2 guys combined for.
Buddy Hield didn't have a point for like the first. He scored his first playoff point in like the second or third game of
Yeah,
that series.
I can't remember who it was. It was somebody else. Regardless, the guy
It wasn't Tyrese Maxey.
The guy who's made $300 million scored 0 points in an elimination game in a playoff, and it's like, dude. And then he went and they signed him for $26 million for 2 years. He was at Detroit before.
I'll tell you what, he is not giving a fuck about winning.
You can't.
He just signed to the Pistons.
Yeah.
And he also got a contract that's way above his evaluation. But I love it. I think that's it.
Oh, I'd be him every day of the week.
I will. Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, congratulations to Tobias Harris. Like I said, I don't hate on
Good
it.
for him.
I just can't stand when a guy comes
Is it
out.
2 years?
2 years, $52 million.
And you know what? He might go, fuck it, this is my last contract, and after these 2 years, I'm going to go sign to the Celtics.
Yeah.
Vet minimum.
That's why, like, if you
I would go, that's the greatest career ever.
What does it
If you
matter?
finish with 2
What
rings?
does it matter how you won your championships? If he's like, I've made literally $400 million in my career, and I'm a champion.
The best part is he'll probably have, if he did that, he'd probably have a Tobias game where it's like, wow, I'm so glad we signed this guy.
He wins finals MVP.
That would be dude. If he did that, he would legitimately have the best career of all time.
I would say there's no one I'd rather be.
No, exactly. But yeah, like I said, congratulations to Tobias. I just feel like people think that I'm an asshole and I'm hating on him. If he wants to, my thing is a guy like Dak Prescott. I don't care about money. I care
You're
about
lying.
winning.
Then why did you take $50 million a year?
You take $60 million a year next year. If he doesn't care about money, if he says that, and then next year he says, you know what, you guys gave me a good contract. We haven't won. Clearly, we need to figure
I'm
this
happy
out.
with $10 million a year.
Give me $30 million a year, and then you have another $30 million per year to sign. Because a receiver, if you get one for 20, whatever it is, if you
could sign CD and a wide receiver too with that extra money.
Right. And probably somebody else, like, another
That Justin Jefferson
like
contract,
another fucking D tackle or something, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, if you don't care about money and you do that, like Tom Brady, like he never once bitched about money. He bitched about winning. And it's like, well, he's doing the things to help us win though, so we can't really say much to him. Dak, it's like, money's never been an issue. It's like, well, don't sign this then and take this contract, let's pay you like $30 million. Like, I'll give you $30 million a year for the next 10 years. I'll do that. I can't do $60 million for 4.
Yeah.
Like, that can't do that. But yeah, other than that, nothing really sports crazy happening. Just soccer.
And that's my whole take
Wimbledon.
on the money thing is like $30 million for the next 10 years. Do a quick math. $300 million. Why do you need 600? And I get it. Like you're saying, why not make more if you can? But it's like, but don't you kind of want to win a little bit? And if $300 million means winning and 600 means losing, I'll take 300 and winning.
And I promise you're going to make more because later on.
Tom Brady made more money probably than anyone ever in the history of football because of his legacy and winning and whatnot, and not because of his contracts.
What was his Fox contract? Tom Brady.
Yeah, his Fox contract.
Unbelievable.
He's on Netflix roast.
What's his Gillette probably contract?
I will say with Greg Olson, I apologize for you, sir, because you are really good at what you do, and you are getting fucked because Tom Brady happened to retire when you became an analyst.
I like Greg Olson.
Greg Olson is very good at the Fox NFL Sunday with the big games. He does very well. It seems like I haven't heard anything about him taking it like shit because I don't know if you really can, but I think he's missing out on like $8 million because Tom Brady came in. That sucks because he's very good.
I think, though...
And if Tom Brady sucks,
that's
sucks.
going to suck.
I can't help feel, but there's got to be somebody getting close to retirement that Greg's going to slide into NBC or something like that.
You'd be surprised, too, because I did not think Drew Brees was that great.
Drew Brees was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so people will go, well, Tom Brady's obviously going to be better. It's like, you would think Drew Brees would be pretty good, right?
I don't know if it's just like you don't think how those guys think. It's so hard because like
Same
that guy
way
has
Tony Romo came in, he was the greatest thing ever, and now people are annoyed by him.
You
he
would
still
think
is
with
good.
the hiccups and the burps and shit, you would stop eating a bag of goldfish before every podcast.
I'm gonna eat more. I've been thinking about him for the last like
Jesus
10 minutes.
Christ. What does it take?
But I think like
I mean, an incubator, and he's going to be like, you know what, I think I'll fucking try.
like you think like Tony Romo and Kendrick Perkins, like there's a big difference between those two analyzing their sport.
Yeah, one can't talk.
Well, he's an idiot.
Yeah, one's learning to read, like, in the past few years, and then the other one's, like, a genius.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, it was cool because he was calling plays out at the beginning. People are like, he's not doing that anymore. And I'm like, well, he knew, like, what people's calls meant. Like, he knew the league. It always is changing. But he'll still say, like, things that happen. It's like, he literally was like, Edelman's going to run this, Gronk's going to run this. If this safety does this, it's going here. If it doesn't, it's going here. And then
you could tell he was well studied, too, because he would say, they like to do this here.
Yeah, and the exact thing would happen. And he'll still say a team likes to do it here, but he just knew. Like, a team's like, you think the Patriots playbook is the same now than it was with Tom Brady when they have Jacoby Brissett there?
Right.
Their win total's 4.5 this year. I don't know. Maybe I'm a Bill Belichick lover, but I can't imagine they win 5 games this year.
I don't know.
In the AFC East.
Well, they went 2 last year?
They won 3 last year, and I think in that stretch where they gave up 10 points or something in 2 weeks or whatever they gave up in 4 weeks.
They got 50 points in 4 weeks.
Was it 50? It was 50 in 4 weeks, and they lost each game. I just can't imagine Gerard Mayo's bringing that type of heat to that team, especially this year. But like I said, I could be wrong. Who was their quarterback last year? Or what's his name from Alabama?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Bailey Zappi.
I mean, Brissett might win you a game or two just based off of being a veteran. Just not lose you one. I shouldn't say win.
All
right. Well, that's it for tonight. Like I said, who won the NBA championship this year?
It was the Boston Celtics.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This is missing a one down there.
Yeah, it is. And it might be missing 2 after next year.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, we'll let you know that throughout the year.
The Celtics win one with it in the next 5 years for sure.
Training camp starting up. One last question before we get out of here. If either of you watch the Hard Knocks at all with the Giants?
Nope.
I don't really love it as much as like the regular one I'll still watch. I just feel like they're trying to do a little too much. The whole first episode I heard was just about Saquon leaving. But anyway, you all have a good night. Let's go Spain in the Euros. I'm rooting for Spain. And then Uruguay just for Luis Suarez to get one on the way.
I'll say this much. I got Spain, Netherlands, Spain winning it, but I would like most to see England win it.
I don't know. I feel like I hate England, but I also like all the players on it.
I love all the players. I watch the Premier League.
That's me too, but I just feel like they kept Rashford off the team. So.
I'm Scotland, so like fuck England, but
Good
also
luck.
like what Scotland's gonna win it all.
It sucks because I'm getting to that point with these type of tournaments where I'm like, I don't even. What does it matter to me? I want to see. What I would like to see is a great game.
What I want going into this tournament, 100%, I would like to see Portugal win it. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, of course. But
so I'm saying of the 3 teams remaining, I'll take England, but I think Spain wins it.
yeah, I agree. Bill, anything else for you?
Nope.
Yep. Dan? No, nothing. All right. Well, everybody have a good night. I don't know when we'll see you again, but until next time, Boston will still be the champs, and you'll still have to hear about it.
Go to the other channels and subscribe. In the Clinch, Clickbait, Mama Deb's Kitchen. Those are affiliated.
What I hope happens here is some random person starts this show.
Make sure if they're watching this, they're subscribing to it.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to this shit as well, you assholes.
What I'm hoping is someone fell asleep like 10 minutes into this episode. They wake up at the end of it, and they're like, oh, shit, I'll do that. Because if you're watching this long in,
you're a god. You're a
come
god.
on the show.
If you're watching right now, comment, and you will fucking fly out.
I will. Yeah, we will pay for your ticket to come out here and talk sports with us.
But you could do
And Eric might blow you.
I'm not saying no.
Hey, if you're a woman,
Definitely.
I might blow you.
Okay, well, I guess that's how we're going to end it.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Be safe, and safe sex.